everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Fourtress of, a podcast about movies and video games and TV shows and lots of pop culture nerd things. My name is Oscar. I'll be one of your hosts today, and with me, per usual, look at that. Hello, I speak into the void, and three voices answer.
It's all of us. We're all here.
Hello.
Hello.
It's me.
Welcome back, Devin and Brian.
Happy to be
It's
back.
funny because Devin actually did go rock climbing, apparently, what we talked about off air.
Right?
So we weren't too far off with him falling down a mountain for
He's
3 episodes.
He's showing the mountain
I'm
how
gonna
it's
feel real
done.
bad if Devin does fall, though.
Don't fall.
Did you just think of like the whitest thing you could think of? He's probably rock climbing. Like in it.
I don't know how we came up with what we came up with.
I was just somehow on a mountain. Yeah,
Just makes
pretty
sense.
You're granola boy.
Sorry to just what do you say? Like prove expectations right, you know?
much. All right, sweet. We're all here. Listeners like me and Alex promised you last week, we're going to dive real deep into the DC fandom news that happened. So let's begin.
Let's
in
go.
Our first segment of the week.
News talk.
Holy shit, the new Batman trailer came out, and it looks, I'm going to be honest. I think the first teaser trailer looks better than this one. Not gonna
Oh,
lie.
really?
Ooh, hot take.
Yeah.
Wow.
Granted, I think their use of the Nirvana song in the first trailer was way better than this one.
Mhm.
I think that it just set the tone a little better. This one seemed they packed more action-y bits, more blah blah blah, which is still cool. But I was just like, I think I got more hyped up the first time around than this, but I'm still excited.
I can't even remember the first trailer, but after watching this one, I'm super hyped. So I was kind of on the fence ever since like the announcement. I feel like they're changing Batmans more often than they're changing Spider-Mans, and I just like my heart can't take it. Just settle down, guys.
It
Just
does
make
seem
one,
like a
please.
little bit of Batman
Just
fatigue.
stick
I've
to
seen a
something.
lot of Batman in my life, the same way I've seen a lot of 007s, I feel like, in my life. And
Oh yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
love it. I mean, I guess Tobey Maguire's too. You're right. Not Tobey Maguire's. Spider-Man's. Maybe Tobey Maguire's too. Maybe this is a hot take.
Let's be real.
Tobey Maguire is actually a clone of Avril Lavigne. What? Anywho. Yeah, but no, I watched the trailer, the first one. I thought it was okay. I was still on the fence, like Alex said. And then this one, like the more footage I see, the more I'm like,
I think it's gonna be pretty good.
you know what? Maybe. just maybe.
I don't know who's
Yeah.
directing it. I have been very absent-minded.
It is Matt Reeves who directed the last two Planet of the Apes movies, which are fucking.
Those
amazing.
are solid. Okay.
I saw the first one.
He's a phenomenal director.
I also
You should see that whole trilogy. That might be one of the best trilogies of all time.
Word.
Whoa.
Damn.
That's
Whoa, wait a second.
that's way too much credit, I would say. Those were
Are you serious? Have you seen them? They're so
Yes,
good.
They're decent
Holy
at
shit.
best,
No, they're so good.
in my humble opinion.
I saw the first two of three.
Maybe it's just because it makes me sad because it was like very apocalyptic and it's like the apes fighting like what's left of the humans, and of course the humans are being the
Yeah,
bad guys.
they're not fun.
Yeah, not fun movies. Maybe that's why I don't like them.
But anyway,
The last one's just very
DC has
sad.
nothing to do with Planet of the Apes, guys.
No, but like I don't know. This one, this new one's like I wish they would stop rebooting Batman, but whatever. This one looks a little like a new take.
Yeah, it
Looks like
pretty
he
cool.
can finally
Mm.
like he can take straight up bullet shots, which is that's a new thing.
Which
they're not stopping him.
I like, but also have a problem with, because I remember people bitching and moaning when Ben Affleck's Batman did the same thing. And they're like, there's no stakes. Batman can't get hurt at all. But now they see this one and like, it's the coolest thing in the world.
Just getting shot with
They
like
showed it in the
a
dark.
Kalashnikov. Like
I know. That shot is amazing, where it's that hallway shot and he's just taking it. Like,
Yeah.
that looks amazing. But I'm like, that's the same shit they've been doing last
Yeah.
time.
It's like, why don't they just aim for his mouth? That's just
Aim for
Just
his
shoot his
face.
teeth.
aim for his legs.
break his teeth out.
Same for his foot.
He's
He
got-
can't protect everything. Also, I'm really not feeling this like Mad Max looking Batmobile. All right, this thing looks like
Yeah.
like all the Batmobiles in the past are like, yeah, this is something like developed in a lab, like a whole team of engineers.
It
like,
looks a little
super
jerry-rigged.
prototypey. This is like he welded on some metal onto like a charger,
Yeah.
and he's just like,
Yeah,
this
basically.
is redneck Batmobile.
Very old school Iron Man.
I mean, if they're trying to do something different, I get it. But it is like, it looks just like a car.
Built
to me,
in a
Right.
cave with scraps.
to me, this feels like very
Right.
like very origin story, but like young Batman. If we think about like a Batman Beyond, where it's like a younger kid,
Yeah.
it's kind of somewhere in
Mhm.
between that and like OG Batman for me. And it's like, okay, maybe he made the Batmobile, maybe he made this Batmobile like in his garage by himself, and maybe by the end of the movie,
Yeah.
we'll get like Batman Prime. He'll get like his
Right.
his real Batmobile and like a better suit or whatever. soup up for the sequel.
Yeah.
It looks very easy to blow up. So maybe we'll
Yeah,
see that.
I love Colin Farrell, because if you didn't know that was Colin Farrell, you had no idea that was
Whoa.
Colin Farrell. That's crazy.
Wow.
Colin Farrell's the Penguin, the guy in the car at the
Damn.
end. It's like, I got you.
He's
And
put
we
on a
know
few
Colin
pounds.
Farrell's
Farrell.
being very attractive, and they made him very not attractive in this movie.
The
somehow.
prosthetics look amazing. Like, they don't look really fake at all. It looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited because it's very much like a psychological thriller with the Riddler
Mm-hmm.
whole murder, killing, weird mystery thing. So I'm excited about that. But I do like how, like, this is the grounded version of Batman, which is like, was it the Dark Knight trilogy supposed to be the grounded version of Batman? It's like they just got even more grounded with Batman.
Take a real grounded.
Also,
But-
how do y'all feel about Andy Serkis's Alfred? I kind of like, maybe he wanted something more like typecasted, but I always love seeing him like do what he's great at, which like doing
He's
monsters and
fantastic.
stuff. Like I'd rather see him as a villain, but maybe he wanted to be more.
I like how
refined.
they grade him up, though. I wasn't sure if they were gonna make him a little older or just keep him the way he looks. But
Mhm.
considering it's a younger Batman, I was like, you didn't really have to gray up Alfred, but
Right.
I like it. I'm excited.
Yeah, it looks cool.
We just got to get every British person that's in like their mid 50s / or late 40s through maybe early 60s to play Alfred at some point. Like every British.
Alfred's like the
every
new.
male British
It's
actor.
like with Aunt May and Spider Man. They're just getting younger and younger
Yeah.
as with the new iterations.
Yeah.
Next Alfred's going to be 22.
Daniel Radcliffe is going to be
Yeah.
in next.
Batman's gonna be
Taron
8.
Egerton is going to be Alfred in the next reboot, and then a baby is going to be Batman. She's going to be a baby.
Honestly, Baby Batman sounds like we're onto something here. We'll shelf that.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
Boss Baby 3, Batman.
Batman.
Boss Baby
edition.
3, Vengeance. On Vengeance.
Oh yeah, they went back to more sort of Christian Bale-ish voice, which I'm not crazy about, but we'll see how it is. We'll see how it goes.
I feel like they gotta do some kind of voice. They can't just be like, "Hello, I'm Batman. Where are the
You got
prisoners?"
money, man. Modularize that shit. I don't know.
I know. I kind of wish they kept the little voice modulator from the Batman or Ben Affleck Batman, but it's whatever.
I feel like you got to upgrade the mask, right? Because like I feel like Siri would be able to unlock your phone now with like if Robert Pattinson had that mask on and you put an iPhone from it, I'm pretty sure it's going to unlock. So like we got to kind of work on this. We got to work on the. You got to cover up the bottom half of your,
She
your
got a
face
good
too now.
60% of that face. So she going to get it.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like I mean you ain't fooling anybody with a half mask these days. Come on,
It's like the opposite of the COVID
true.
mask.
we know dental records. Okay, we can spot stuff by your teeth.
It's got the bat symbol on it.
Real quick shout out to Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle / Catwoman. I think she's gonna be fantastic and probably
Yeah,
the
that seems
highlight
really
of that
cool.
movie. I would say
It seems like a cool dynamic.
she looks great.
What else
And,
has she done? I know of her, but can't think of anything else she was in.
Oh, you know what? Oh, it's Zoe Kravitz. I didn't
Oh, man.
recognize that at first, but you know what? She was in
I'm blanking.
what is it?
She was in an X-Men
Pretty
movie.
Pretty Little Lies. Pretty.
Mhm.
I always
Little Liars?
I always butcher this name. It's not the ABC Family Show. It's on HBO.
Well, then I don't know.
Big Little Lies.
Oh, okay.
Big Little Lies. Phenomenal
Oh.
show. You guys should check it out. It's amazing.
Word.
I see.
Yeah, she's really good in that.
I've heard good
I've
things.
heard that's really good. Yeah.
The movie, I'm excited. Comes out in March. It's just more Batman. Also, Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon is awesome, or at least James Gordon. Pretty dope.
I'm excited.
Mhm.
All right, next. More Batman news because it's a Flash movie, but it's pretty much a Batman movie, which is
Oh,
there's more Batman than there's Flash in this, but I'm still excited for it. Ezra Miller's back, being weird as fuck as usual, so it's fine.
He was one of my favorite characters of the Justice League. So I'm pretty pumped to see him again.
that's what I said. I'm not a huge Flash fan,
Yeah.
but I really love Ezra Miller. I think their
Yeah.
acting so far has been pretty spectacular. So it kind of sucks that this
Yeah.
is like there's more Batman.
I
But,
mean,
you
we
know.
got to hear Michael Keaton's Batman. We got to see the back of his cowl. I'm assuming, and props to them for not showing off the Batmobile at the very end of the trailer, but we know what it is. So it looks like, and there's two Ezra Miller Flashes.
Right? Yeah. Did
shows
you
at
guys
one
see
point.
that? I'm excited to see how that's gonna come into the story. I know loosely in the comics
Ooh.
it's like a paradox. He like gives himself his powers by traveling back in
Right.
time because he goes so fast.
Well, no. So he goes back in time and saves his mother from being killed by, at that point, the Reverse Flash. Which, if they
Ew.
introduce this, who knows? And so that creates a paradox where, because his mother doesn't die, he doesn't go through the steps of eventually becoming the Flash. So that's the paradox.
Oh,
of
I
it all.
thought something like a lightning bolt. He gets struck by a lightning bolt, but he is the lightning bolt or some shit.
Well, that's how there's different origins, but that's how he becomes the Flash. Is either struck by lightning or in a lab or a combination of both. Struck by lightning in a lab.
Okay.
But yeah, and so it looks like they're doing this, which is interesting, but also in the comics in that Batman has to help Barry get his powers back, so maybe that's what they're also doing. Maybe that's why he's seeing Michael Keaton
Interesting.
Batman, which is interesting because we also know that Ben Affleck Batman is in this in a very small role apparently as well.
There's going to be a lot of Batmans next year, guys.
A lot of Batmans. We also see Supergirl there as well. Supergirl is standing right there next to the two Ezra Miller.
Interesting.
And so I don't know what is going to happen in this movie.
It's getting a little messy.
Yeah.
Getting a little messy. Lots of multiverse stuff. But his costume looks pretty cool. I like the little yellow lines through it all. It's interesting.
Yeah.
This is a Batman movie. This is why Batman fatigue might start to set in. I'm so excited.
I guess that is a good question. How long till DC does multiverse, and then we have Robert Pattinson, Christian Bale, and Ben Affleck all on one screen?
I feel like they're already doing multiverse by accident.
Honestly.
Yeah.
They just can't keep up with their own material.
They don't know how to make a universe, so they're just like, fuck it. We're just going to do whatever we want.
Just do it live.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone is always saying that if you're going to do Flashpoint, that's the perfect way to kind of reboot your universe and start over and get rid of Ben Affleck Batman and figure some shit out. But I don't know. I'm excited because there's a famous comic also where Batman has to basically fight off the Reverse Flash for 1 second while he waits for Barry to come and save him, basically. And I'm hoping they do that in this. So it's just a really tense situation where Batman basically sends out a signal to him, and he just has to literally survive for one second before the Reverse Flash kills him.
Oh, holy shit!
So if they do that, I'd be excited to see that. But yeah, comes out next year. There wasn't much else to that. Looks cool. Looks like Batman: The Flash is what this movie should be called. Next up, we got. This one I'm on the fence about. Black Adam. The Rock as Black Adam.
So excited.
I'm on the fence because I got a hot take, guys. I don't think I like The Rock.
Oh,
What?
I have The Rock fatigue. We're talking about Batman fatigue.
Like-
I'm tired of
Wow.
seeing The Rock's fucking face every single. This man made a music video recently with Tech Nine. He raps now. He's going full Shaquille now.
Why Tech Nine though? Why would he? Why with Tech Nine?
I think Tech Nine and The Rock
Because
are
no
close
one
for
else
some
would do
reason.
it.
But
Damn.
okay, counterpoint. He's gonna be like an anti-hero in this, right? So it's not gonna be The Rock that like has
yeah,
been.
but you know it's The
Can
Rock.
someone please tell
They
me?
won't let
you
him
know
be
he
bad.
doesn't play bad
But
guys
he's gonna be
anymore.
like WWE, like mid 2000s Rock. Like he's gonna be like a bad. He's gonna be kind of like villainy, like from Doom. Like
I hope so, because if he actually, because Black Adam is like an anti-hero, more of a villain in the
Yeah.
comics, and if that Rock was just being a villain, that would be amazing. But I'm worried that he's gonna pull some Venom shit and just be like, no, I'm actually a hero now. It's like, no.
He's gonna be a dick for 20 minutes, and then he's gonna meet a little girl and save her life or some shit, and then turn over a new leaf.
That sounds about
Something
right.
stupid like
I mean,
that.
granted, in the footage, it shows him literally electrocute dude until he's a skeleton. So I was like, that's pretty cool.
Can we go back? I have no idea who this Black Adam person is, and why is his name Black
Okay.
Adam? And should I be offended? Because I'm offended.
I don't think you should be offended. I don't quite know the entire origin, but he's a Shazam villain.
Yeah,
They both have the same power.
I thought he was
sets.
Shazam's nemesis, right?
So he's
He is-
Black
He is.
Shazam.
He is, which is why if they do a Shazam 3, but The Rock's a good guy, blah blah blah. Like, how are they is he gonna be the bad guy in Shazam 3 or whatever? Like, I don't know.
I
Interesting.
don't know that Black Adam is black in the comics.
No, he's
He's
Egyptian.
yeah.
He's from
that's
Egypt.
black. I mean, that's of African descent.
Black
Yeah.
enough.
You thought it was like Black Falcon or something?
That's what it sounds like, bro. I don't like it.
But yeah, I'm mostly just like, I think I love The Rock's work ethic, but I hate his philosophy of alpha male douchebagginess. And sometimes I don't think he's genuine all the time.
Yeah.
And like when he's like in interviews and stuff, like he'll have this laugh where he's like, ha 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 ha. I'm like, that's not how a normal person laughs in
No.
real life.
So,
I don't believe you.
I have a take on that. I think any actor or just anybody in general that makes their brand being a good person probably isn't as good of a person as they make themselves out to be. I mean, hot take, Ellen DeGeneres. We saw how all that unfolded. I just feel like when you
Right.
make it so hard, like if you're a good person, it shows. But when you write in your contract to be that you're supposed to be a good person, I don't know. Not to say that I wouldn't get a beer with The Rock. I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he's a nice dude.
I'm
but
sure. Yeah, exactly.
It's
but
something's off about it, and I don't love it.
To
So,
me, I feel like he's a good actor, but I feel like he'd be a really great politician.
yes,
And I don't really know how I feel about that,
Yeah, right.
but that feels pretty spot
I mean,
on to me.
he's charismatic.
Yeah.
He's charismatic, and I feel like he can lie to your face without breaking a sweat.
Right.
I think this kind
Yeah.
of movie, I hope they just go full in on him being a bad guy because he's like Doom. He was the best part of that movie, being a bad guy.
Right.
And like,
but that's
when
the
you
whole
look at,
thing
like,
is
the
that
old-
The Rock believes the fans that love him don't realize that he's an actor, and so he doesn't like to portray bad guys on screen anymore. And I'm like, that's dumb. Being an actor means you're playing a part. Just be a bad guy.
I think he plays a great bad guy. That's the thing.
He
Like when,
does.
the Attitude Era, like he was one of the best. I mean, he
Yes.
wasn't really ever a villain, but like he
No,
was
he's a
like
villain
he was very
sometimes.
full of himself, and he would like make fun of people, and he would like give the like he would roast people.
He had the
And that
best
was
promos.
like some of the best clips from that era was The Rock doing that. So I just want to see more of that kind of Rock
do too.
in this movie.
I do too.
So we'll see.
we'll see.
I'm excited because we saw a little bit. There's Pierce Brosnan's in it. He's playing Dr. Fate, which is pretty cool. There's a bunch of other
Ooh.
old school Justice Society of America heroes in that. I just hope that he doesn't pull up just I'm actually a good guy by the end of this type of shit.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine,
Stay
but I'm
bad.
not expecting great things from it.
Stay bad.
Yeah.
Stay
So maybe
bad.
I'll be pleasantly
That
surprised.
footage, I wasn't super impressed by budget wise, is what I'm
Yeah.
worried about in the little first look opening scene of it. I was like, it looks a little cheap, but we'll see. We'll see.
But that's just all of DC movies. So
Damn.
Shots fired.
sorry, Oscar.
All right, continuing with our little Shazamness. We got a little teaser behind the scenes of Shazam: Fury of the Gods, which doesn't show much footage, but it shows them on set. We got Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu as the villains, which I'm excited about. I'm excited they talk about they're going to like Athens and they're diving deep into like mythology. They said they're gonna have like Cyclops and Minotaurs or some shit, and that'll be cool. It's
All the
something new,
stuff.
and
Mhm.
Is Kratos in there?
that'd be pretty funny.
He just kills Shazam. He just kills everybody.
He just comes in and kills everybody.
Just rips him in half.
It just starts. Yeah, it starts as like a good like Shazam like lightheartedness, and then
Right.
it just turns on a dime like
Rips his
Invincible.
arms
Like,
It's safe to say that if Kratos were in any movie, he would beat everybody, right?
Yeah, basically.
There's no stopping
That
him.
man solos the universe.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I mean he
Pretty
did kill
much.
all the gods of Olympus by himself. So I
Yeah.
guess
He crawled out of
probably-
hell
Kind of.
at least twice in every game.
I'm pretty sure in every single game he comes out of hell, so
But
he's
I'm
kind of-
sure Captain America would be able to block the chains of chaos with his shield, just exert a lot of effort.
Oh
Kind
my
of like
God.
when Thanos tried to snap. It's like, oh my Cap.
But yeah, I'm actually excited about this personally.
Yeah.
I might be the only person that's excited about this. I love the first Shazam.
I
think it's one of the
I
best
like the
DC
first
movies.
Shazam. Yeah, that was a good one.
I think it's the strongest thing they got going, other than Wonder Woman.
Surprisingly.
I agree as well. Yeah, and they kind of fucked up Wonder Woman recently, so hopefully they don't do the same thing with this.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm excited. I'm sad that it's not coming out till 2023, but
Whew.
okay.
Oh wow.
That's a
Yeah,
long time.
yeah, it's
we're a
long
ways
time.
away. I'm like, DC, come on, get your movies out. What you doing?
Get your movies out.
But it's
It was
DC,
just-
so are we
Speaking
surprised?
of movies that took too long, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, Aquaman 2, 4 years since the first one.
Yeah.
Now we're finally getting Aquaman 2. They showed a little behind the scenes. I'm excited just because I actually liked that first Aquaman. I understood it was super campy as hell and over the fucking top. But it was like the most comic booky movie I think I've ever seen in
Yeah.
terms of
Mhm.
just throwing all of the dumb Aquaman lore into it.
Nice.
I think lean into it. I think do something
Yeah.
different. Everyone's trying to make
Yeah.
everything so grounded. That's a very big thing that's happened in the last decade of comic book movies. Make it grounded. Nah, man, fucking go weird. Comic books are weird.
Mhm.
Not everything makes sense, and that's okay.
Right.
I think Wonder Woman
Mhm.
could have been better, at least the second one, if they had done the same thing. Make it all
Mhm.
stupid because it's stupid. It's a comic book in the
Right, right.
60s, you know? Like, I don't know. So hopefully the second
mean,
one's just as
Yeah,
ridiculous.
not
as
everything
this one.
has to be so
But
serious.
as long as they got Jason Momoa doing it, I mean, that's all you need.
I did think it was
Exactly.
funny in this behind the scenes that they have everyone talking towards the camera and like, yeah, this is gonna be great, except for Amber Heard. They just show one real brief clip of her doing something and they never mention her again.
Like, she's in this movie, begrudgingly.
yeah. And then there's a shot of Jason Momoa riding. I'm assuming he's gonna be riding a seahorse, which I'm so excited to see.
That would be.
He's riding like a
want that
CG
image.
saddle, and I'm like, that's a seahorse.
Oh my
That's gotta be
God.
a seahorse.
That's hilarious.
That is going to be such a meme whenever that like.
Yeah.
You don't
I
think they
don't
give
know.
him a shark?
we will find captions of
Oh, a
it.
shark would be.
I mean,
really
they had
cool.
a shark in
for
the
it.
first one. I want to see him ride that seahorse again. That'd be
Jason
so
Momoa
cool.
feels like a shark guy, not so much. Maybe like an orca whale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he can swim faster. Why has he got to ride anything? He can swim
Because
faster
he's
than
lazy as
everything in the ocean.
fuck.
About to say I can use my legs, but I can also drive a car. Fuck what?
True.
I can't run as fast as a car, so it's okay.
I'm excited. Yeah, we'll see when that comes out. I'm just glad that they're
Mhm.
making actual shit now. So let's go. All right, we're back on the Rock shitty train. He's voicing Crypto the Super Dog in DC's League of Super Pets, with Kevin Hart being Ace the Bat Hound. So it's the two of
Oh,
them
no.
again in an animated movie. It's
Interesting.
an animated movie. It is what it is. That's all there is. to it,
Zero
really.
interest.
Secret Life of Pets, 30-second. Like I'm tired of seeing
I
this
guess
shit.
kids need
Right.
something to watch
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Stop making Kevin Hart a
Yeah.
dog.
Skip theaters on DC. Do yourself a favor. Just go straight to the streaming service on that one. Don't put that one. in
I
theaters.
agree wholeheartedly with that. That's going straight to
Yeah.
HBO Max, please.
Yeah.
Save yourself some clowning.
All right, that is all of the big movie stuff for the most part. I know there's a lot of other shit, but there's too much shit to talk about, and we didn't care about all of it. So let's go to video games. They showed another gameplay trailer in engine, so they say, of Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League by the guys and the people that made the Arkham Knight trilogy. I'm slightly disappointed in the fact that the last year they showed just a gameplay trailer, or just a cinematic trailer and no gameplay. I was like, oh, okay, maybe this year gameplay. Zero gameplay. This game comes out next year. I'm real worried about what this game actually is.
It's not gonna be
I have
good.
no
Very
idea.
concerned.
It's not gonna work.
Whoa, Oscar, it would never happen that they've made big promises and that the development team would be behind. That never happens with game companies, okay? Everything, whenever things come out, it's a finished product. You can trust the process.
Yeah, right.
I can't wait until it comes out that there's this huge lawsuit because they were abusing their workers and there's a whole bunch of crunch and it took too long and the game still sucks dick and they're never going to make another game again.
Please, no.
Okay, wait. We have a chance right now to do something different, okay? As fans, we can set our bar really low for this game and then be not disappointed when it comes out and is not great. Or if it's even just like mediocre and it's kind of good. We can like think it's like amazing. If we this is the moment, y'all. This is the magic moment.
I'm with you.
We got to take our bar and just lower it way down.
Down to the ground.
Let's
Down to the
second
ground.
that. And what's the game studio that's making this? I don't even know.
Rocksteady.
Rocksteady, if you're listening, we know you are. They're huge fans of the podcast. We can be patient. Take your time.
Yeah.
Finish the
Yeah.
game.
Take your time.
Finish the
Exactly.
game.
Take your time.
No rush.
Knock it back a few years.
We'll be here.
But you know
always
what
helps.
sucks about that is we're telling them to take their time, but we're also not invested in Rocksteady.
Right.
Stocks.
We're not the suits.
You know who's
Yeah.
telling them not to take their time is the shareholders.
Yeah.
That's
I'm still like excited for this game on like a normal level, just like, oh, cool. I thought that trailer looked dope. And I'm mostly interested in how the fuck are you supposed to take on the Justice League as these normal ass Suicide Squad members? So your members are Harley,
Superman's
Deadshot.
gotta be a really hard boss, I'm thinking.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, what the
Mhm.
fuck? But there is a cool little bit in that trailer where you see Superman fighting Wonder Woman. And so I'm like, oh, that's interesting because it looks like everyone else. Also, fucking Jon Stewart Green Lantern is in this, and that's fucking dope. That's awesome. Hell yeah.
Jon Stewart, the
but yeah-
comedian?
Yeah. Most people's favorite Green Lantern because
I'm about to say, the only my Green Lantern.
Right. Who gives a shit about Hal Jordan? But yeah, so that's cool. I do wonder if maybe that part of Superman fighting Wonder Woman is at a point where maybe you've beaten Wonder Woman because they're all under Brainiac's effect. That's why they're all evil. It looks like Brainiac has taken over their brains, whatever.
Of course.
Maybe they've somehow gotten Wonder Woman on their side, and now that she's fighting Superman, that's how they get out of you having to beat Superman on your own because you wouldn't be able to either way.
Hey, kryptonite bullet. Simple as that. Why
That's
did
true.
nobody ever try that?
The Deadshot
before?
is on the team. He's done it before. So
Harley
we go.
Quinn did use a gun that gave a dude cancer, so I wouldn't put it past her.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah, could be fun. Just set the bar low. Everybody, let's set the
Yeah.
Let me
bar.
know when the comedian Jon Stewart gets a cameo.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'd be into, yes.
DLC.
I want him to play black.
You can change the skin. Oh God, no. All right, sticking with video games. One more. We got another no gameplay, but just a cinematic trailer for Gotham Knights, which is made by the people that made the Arkham Origins game. So not the trilogy, but
I'm excited
the other
for this
one.
one. I'm really excited
This
for
one was cool. This
cool
one
as
we
hell.
actually saw gameplay at the last fandom, so no gameplay this time, but we know what it is. It's a co-op, basically RPG version of Arkham, which sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited as well. And this trailer, they showed off more of their story, which is they're going against the Court of Owls, which is just like a basically a secret society in Gotham that's been there since the dawn of time, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Also,
Classic.
it's interesting because we have no idea which of these take place after the Arkham Knight game, which is the last one. Because spoilers for Arkham Knight, Batman's dead.
Oh shit! I didn't play it.
So,
That's okay. The game's like 80 years old.
but as you know, when Batman dies, he's not really dead. So who gives a shit?
He turns to Robert Pattinson.
So yeah, we'll see. Batman's probably going to show up at some point in one of these games, and
No, I think he's dead. I think they talk about that in the trailers a while
they
back.
do.
Or at least
But also,
maybe
it's
the text.
Batman. He's never dead.
That's true. Yeah, he'll be on the screens.
Because the weird thing is, like, this looks like it's taking place right after Arkham Knight, but it's a different studio, so maybe it's like a side sequel type of thing. Whereas Suicide Squad, made by the same studio, says that is a sequel to Arkham Knight, but you see a Batmobile in that trailer, so it's like, what is happening in any of these games? Who knows?
It's the multi fuck up verse,
basically.
Oh.
And that's also coming out 2022, so we're getting a lot of Batman, a lot of DC game stuff, so it looks
Gonna
cool.
be a big year.
We'll see how they all play. Both very interesting, and how the fact that they're a cast of 4 characters, one of them's co-op, the other one might be co-op. We still don't know, but yeah, we'll see.
I'll wait for you guys to play it.
No, we gotta all
No,
play
I'm
the Arkham game together. That's gonna be amazing, guys.
Oh yeah,
Fair.
that'd be
If we
fun.
can play co-op together, I would definitely.
Hell yeah,
That would be really cool. All this play. All right, moving on now. TV. There was a Peacemaker trailer for the Peacemaker spin-off series that's coming to HBO in January. It looks ridiculously hilarious and fun, and I'm excited to watch it. But I also like that Suicide Squad movie.
I still gotta watch that.
And I can tell by Devin's face that he is not interested in any way whatsoever.
Got a lot of mixed reviews.
I mean, I don't know. John Cena, just to me, whenever he tries comedy, unless he's like really helped out, kind of like to me, he's on the level of like Batista, and Batista's good. Like he did really good with like, you know, where he was in Guardians, but he was heavily supported by the rest of that cast. If he's going to try to carry a lot of the humor himself in this, I just don't see it working.
See, that's the thing. I think
don't
John Cena's better when he is doing a comedy rather than a serious role.
That's what I'm saying. I think you're not giving enough credit by saying he's like Batista. Batista, not that he's a bad dude at all, but fuck.
I mean, I don't think John Cena's a great actor. I'm just, you know, I don't think he
is either. But I think this role is really good for him because it's a really dumb dude.
Right. Yeah.
That's what they want to do with Venom.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, the trailer looks cool. There's a bald eagle walking in slow motion side by side, which is hilarious. And so I feel like it's only 6 episodes, so it's a real quick watch. So,
and this is after the events of the Suicide Squad sequel, or is it before?
Yeah, this is after Suicide Squad.
Okay, because he's gonna have some major redemption to make me.
Yeah, which I'm
he's
like
gonna need some redemption
about, because I don't really care about him being redeemed whatsoever. But
right.
I mean, he had some takes that were just all time bad.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, real quick. This one's just for me and for Devin. Smallville had a 20th anniversary. So the day DC Fandome came out was the 20 years to the day that the first episode of Smallville came out. They had a funny panel, and I could not help but think of Devin the whole time. I was very excited about it. Also, they're doing a Smallville animated series that takes place after the finale, and I can't fucking wait to watch. I'm so fucking excited.
Oh, they're gonna do like a little reunion episode?
No, it's gonna be a series, and it's gonna show all the characters where they are in the future after the finale.
Great.
So he's gonna be Superman, Devin. He'll be Superman now.
Oh, I can't wait to see him just zip around town using only his super speed to cry with every friend to fill them in on drama and never actually fight anyone. To never fucking fight a single fucking person.
Hey, man.
Fuck
you got to get past those coffee lines. So you got to get there early. So he flies there.
He's going to run into the same coffee shop as the CW Flash, and then Flash is going to be sitting there shaking his head like, oh, we're getting coffee too. Like, hey, Clark, you want to get some coffee? He's like, no. I mean, maybe I do want to get coffee, but I don't know. I got to go talk to my friend Zoe. And then just zips around town like, hey,
we haven't had a Devin hates Smallville run, I think, since like episode 3 or something.
Fuck Smallville.
It's been a minute.
I'm sorry. I've gotten to the point where I know this is an irrational take, and if I went back and watched it now, I might have more appreciation for it. But you know what? I'm just going to dig in. It's a bad show.
I'm here for it.
Plant those feet, man.
I love it. I
really tried watching that show, but I think I fell asleep so many times, and there was just nothing going on.
Oh, because of excessive exposition and maybe no actual events. Maybe no.
I'd rather watch Pretty Little Liars.
Oh, that's so rude.
No, just watch Big Little Lies instead on HBO.
Big Little Lies.
Big Little Lies.
That's a good show, though.
That
I'd rather
one
watch
is
Pretty
good.
Little Lies.
All right, one more thing. Shout out to Wonder Woman. It's her 80th anniversary, her birthday. Wonder Woman's been around for
happy
80 years.
birthday,
That's pretty
Wonder
awesome.
Woman.
Congrats to
Very
that.
cool.
Patty Jenkins and Linda Carter had a little bit of a panel and talked about they are doing Wonder Woman 3, so that's exciting. They'll do another
Dope.
one. Hopefully it'll be really good. We'll all see it. And that's DC Fandome, pretty much for the most part. Sorry if we missed your favorite things. It's just a lot. But yeah. All right. Couple more things in news real quick. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 has found its Adam Warlock in the weirdest looking motherfucker who had a big glow up apparently. Like,
it's
what
your
the hell?
boy.
What the fuck?
Eyebrows.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Eyebrows
Will
himself.
Poulter.
Will Poulter's a great actor.
is.
He is really, really good at his craft. It's funny that he looks the way that he does, but he is brilliant, I think. And I look forward to see him do more things.
Marvel doesn't miss, so I trust it, but I'm going to be very
Do
distracted
they?
by his
I feel like
eyebrows.
they kind of miss sometimes.
Who'd they miss? Who'd they miss?
Most of the Iron Mans.
Okay, Marvel after
Casting
the growing
wise,
pains.
they're pretty good.
But you know what that means though? They're gonna Will Poulter's pretty good at like comedic kind of acting, so he'll probably just kind of fit right in with the squad.
Right, that's true. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I mean, yeah, those movies are mostly hilarious, so maybe he's a more goofy character rather than the weird stoic Infinity Gauntlet wielding dude that he's supposed to be. So
Right.
all right. Before we go in the news, we got Devin had to share one piece of news that it's really only he cares about, and it's really annoying. So go ahead, Devin.
I have to share just a little bit of not news. But so recently on social media, there was this trend where it's like you would say something and like about your crush, and then you just put like 30 red flags after, like red flag emojis. So it's funny because you'd put stuff that's like, oh, this is a big red flag. So Disney Plus Latin America put their official Twitter account said when they like the sequel trilogy, or like when they say the sequel trilogy is the best, and then they put the red flags. So Disney themselves have acknowledged that the sequels suck. Okay.
Dang.
So
how could they do something like that? Who's in charge over there?
It's Disney Latin America, man. There's no rules.
Holy cow.
it is only a
That's
matter of time
amazing.
until they overwrite the sequels and they don't exist. Okay, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time until they redo them. Just mark my words
I guess
now.
if they're talking about it at headquarters on Twitter, damn.
Disney themselves, they acknowledge Disney has officially, the company Disney has taken the position that they made bad movies with the sequels.
Or at least Brazil has. We
I am
don't
not
know
the
what's
bad guy.
happening outside
Devin?
of
I'm
that.
not the bad guy here.
I don't know if viewers know this. Listeners, Devin lives in a garage with a board with a bunch of red strings attached on the walls to pointing to different directions.
And they all go back to
sequels
Ryan
suck.
Johnson.
That is all
And
I have to
whenever
say.
you open it, he shouts out, Disney knows. They knows it's bad.
I'm gonna tell you,
Disney-
hey, I literally tweeted at Ryan Johnson directly after this
Oh
movie.
my
I was so
God.
mad.
Leave
It's the
that
only time I've
man
ever done
alone.
that. It's the only time I've been a troll. But man, and he never read it. Like, and honestly, I get
no
on Twitter so
shit.
little that like it was like a year. It was like a year after the movie came out. It was probably like he maybe saw it and it was like, who the fuck? Like, who? Did this man
Oh my
just see this movie?
I
But
wish
you
he
know
did I wish he just liked it. Didn't even say anything back to you about it. Just fucking
That's
hit the
so
like
funny.
button.
God.
Moved on.
Anyway,
Oh.
but yeah,
Oh,
listen,
yeah.
guys, the sequels suck, and Disney agrees with me. So
Yep.
Boom.
All
I will
right.
leave that.
Very
I will
happy
drop the
folks.
mic there.
That's great.
All right, that's the
amazing.
end of whatever that was.
Huge news.
Yeah, that's
Shall we
pretty
move on
big.
to our main topic of the week?
Let us do it.
About how bad Star Wars sucks.
Always.
All right, guys, it's that time of the week again. It is time for us to move on to our main topic, but we did it again. And guys, I'm scared.
Uh-oh.
I'm real scared of this fortress, all right?
Spooky season.
I don't know how we got into this Scooby-Doo ass castle here.
Looks a lot
What?
like Luigi's Mansion.
Oh no, it seems like we're in the fortress of
Scariest video game. Spooky.
Man, this game's
season.
scary.
Spooky video game.
Brian just shit his pants in the
Oh.
corner.
What the fuck? I did though. I will piss and shit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very scared. I can't do scary games, guys.
Yes, listeners, we're in the fortress of scary games. It's the spooky season, so we're talking about scary game. We're gonna do this like round robin style and just kind of go in a circle and talk about really scary games that we have or have not played. I will say,
Because they're scary. Some of them
What?
are scary, man. Scary games are hard for me.
yeah, man, I don't blame you,
Yeah.
especially them first person ones. All right,
Oof.
let's Should we go alphabetical as usual? Alex, would you like to go first?
I'm ready. One of the scariest games that I've ever played is the first BioShock game. You guys remember that shit?
Ooh, I sure did. It
Some
sure was
honorable
on my
mentions.
list. I sure am pissed off.
I didn't even think about that one. I
It's
forgot.
a great series, but the first game was really hard for me to play because it was so damn scary. I was like in high school, I think, when it came out. So I like to think at the time I was like, I thought I was tough. And I was like, okay, I'm going to play this BioShock game. It looks cool. I didn't really realize how spooky it was going to be. But just like the way they like set the tone and like it's a first person game. There's not a lot of cutscenes, or I don't think there's any cutscenes. Kind of like Half-Life, you're just kind of observing everything first person and just observing the story through gameplay, which is really powerful, I think. But you're seeing all this like writing on the walls and all these voiceovers of people talking to you, and it's just so creepy. They use a music and sound design in a really great way, and lighting, and the different creatures and bad guys just pop out of nowhere through the shadows and stuff. I remember there was this one moment. I finished this huge action sequence. It's like a first person shooter, lots of cool powers and stuff. Super fun game. I finished this huge action sequence, and I walk into this like abandoned house or whatever, and I'm looking for the treasure and looking for like the mission quest or whatever I'm doing. I can't exactly remember, but it's very quiet, very eerie, very ominous. And I finally find like the chest or whatever the item that I need to get, and the character's looking at it and he's talking to himself, and he's like, "Okay, I got the thing. Time to get the fuck out of here." And it's very creepy. The tension, and as soon as you turn around, it's like, bam! This last fucking skeleton monster guy just comes at you, and man, it scared the crap out of me. It was the last thing I was expecting, even though I should have been expecting it. And man, it was just like that kind of stuff was just all over that game. And it took me a while to beat it, but it was because it was so scary, but it was so good and so well done that I owed it to myself. And it was a really rewarding game, but definitely one of the scariest.
Mm-hmm.
I still need to finish that game.
Same.
I started that in college, and I don't know why I stopped. I can't remember why.
They remastered them. They look a little bit prettier now.
I know. I have them. I want to play them, but I just haven't.
I never really enjoyed the second one, but I loved the first one, and I really, really loved the last one, Infinity. I think it's called Infinite.
Infinite.
Yeah, Infinite. That one was sweet. Not as scary, but very cool.
I just remember fighting the big daddies, like those huge like things that protected the little girls.
Oh
like
my gosh!
And I was always like, I can't like remember how I'd beat them, but like every time I'd be like, how the hell am I gonna beat this guy? And like it was always like it always took a few tries, at least for me. But well, then you
it was like a miracle when you came out alive at the end of those things. Yeah, they were
you use like
pain.
all your ammo, all your resources just to be
Cause we were talking about how scary that game was, and I think Big Daddies is a really big part of what made that game super scary, because it felt like that. Like, I mean, one of the first sequences are you getting the shit beat out of you by one. So it's like, man, I don't ever want to see one of these motherfuckers again. Next thing you see it, you're like,
that's a great point.
I gotta do something about this.
They were so powerful that like that you could literally walk right by them, and like they would leave you alone, because they like the game knew like if you shoot at that, like you're going to die. So like you could literally like the big daddy would be aware of you, but they'd be like just leave us alone and we won't bother you. And it's like, and you just watch it like knowing that you're gonna have to fight it at some point. Like you're like,
But that was the thing. There's a very specific point where that game stopped being scary, and it had to do with the Big Daddies. Because there's a power that you can get in that game that actually allows you to get control of them for like a certain period of time. You can like charm them or whatever. And it was like at that exact point, I stopped being afraid of the game, and I was like, thank fucking God. Because it went from me being like, every single time I saw a Big Daddy, I was like, I hate my life, bro. Like, I don't want to do this again. It's so scary. To being like, oh, let's go, bro. You my friend
like your
now.
first
Boom.
your first intro to them is watching them drill a dude in a wall to death, and it's like, oh, this looks great.
This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Would you do the evil choice or the good choice with the little girls? I always did the good
The
choice.
good choice.
I played it. I played it pretty in the middle. It's hard for me to play evil, but I'll play like mostly good. But a couple of times I'm always evil.
With a game like that, I would usually, if I had the time, go through it twice and just play it both ways.
Just to clarify for the listeners, because I did realize that I just said do the good thing or evil thing with little girls. You could like the big daddies would like protect. They'd be protecting a little girl, and like you could like once you killed the big daddy, you could like heal her, and like she'd run away and be like, "Oh, you saved me, thank you." Or you could like kill, like she's like a demon little girl at first, so you heal her and she becomes normal. or you can like kill her and like absorb her power. And it's like
fucking essence of. That sounds even worse.
Like,
Don't use suck. Suck's not a good word. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It was kind of an odd thing that they threw in there, but I always chose
Devin
the good
just
choice,
hates
obviously.
kids. We've already established Devin does not like stories with children. He does not like children at all. So he
Do not like children.
any chance he can.
This is true. That's some lore now.
Honestly, that really traumatized me when you mentioned that. I can't stop thinking about it. You don't like any Pixar movies or nothing?
He's still thinking about
No, I like
it.
Pixar movies, but I just don't like
about it.
child actors like in real life
Fucking
because
kids.
they always just
To be
suck.
fair, some child actors are hit or miss. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Master Skywalker, there's too many of them. What are we going to do?
You really phoned
And
it
it
home
all
there,
goes
Timmy.
back
I
to
was
Star
all
Wars.
in with Anakin in that scene. All right, I'm like, just kill
Oh
them all.
yeah,
Get them out of this
I'm
movie.
team fuck them kids in Star Wars Episode 3. Absolutely.
Damn.
The less children talking, the better. Every movie.
I love how it always circles back somehow. It's my favorite.
To Star Wars.
Anyway,
Oh, it's so good.
Well, yeah. Anyway, BioShock 1.
yeah,
BioShock
good
1,
game.
that's a good
game.
choice.
Good,
Lot of
scary
scares.
game.
And also like an actual good game beyond being
Just a
scary.
very
and
good
actual-
game. Very good series.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff
Yeah.
in there.
All right, Brian, what's up?
For my first game, I think I've told you guys about this game quite a little bit. And so it's going to be a hard one to talk about because it's a game that you guys will probably never play. But just in case, listeners, you guys ever play it, I want you to go in completely blind. Don't even look that shit up. Just fucking download it and have fun. This game is called Doki Doki Literature Club.
Oh,
Now, when you first see this game, it's
Doki
Doki Doki Literature Club. It is a visual novel,
I wanna play
Japanese
it
visual
so badly.
novel, where there's a
Okay.
bunch of schoolgirls on the cover. It's in bright pink. Everything's like really fun and loving looking. And you're like,
so
Brian, we're talking about horror games today. What the hell are you talking about? When I tell you this game fucks me up in ways that a video game has not fucked me up before,
Interesting.
it's wild. So basically, the base of this game is that I think you're like some kind of kid in high school. I don't know if you're like a sophomore or freshman, something like that, but you're a kid in high school. You're kind of a loser. You kind of like to just go home and read manga every day. And your best friend Sayori is like, man, you need to get the fuck out. Like, what are you doing, bro? What you doing with your life? Come join some clubs with us. And he was like, I don't really like clubs. Fuck it. I don't really want to go there. And then she's like, come to my club. We just made a club. It's called the Literature Club. So you go to hang out and you see, and when you walk in, there's these 3 pretty ass girls in this club. But also, they're the only girls in this club. And you're like, do I really want to be in a club with just 4 people? It's pretty lame. So you talking to them and learning things about each character and stuff like that, kind of deciding whether or not you want to date them. And throughout the game, you like write poems, and the poem you write can like, influence which person likes you. They're like, oh, you write in a very dark style. I'm pretty gothic. I like you and stuff like that. But then the game at some point takes an interesting turn that I will not spoil because I need more people need to play this game. But
yes, I want to play it. So
one of the biggest things that this game does that I enjoy personally in games is fourth wall breaking. I love games that like immerse you to the point where it feels like the people are talking directly to you and no longer to like the character. And that happens a lot in this game where they'll do things and like a lot of stuff changes in the game, changes outside of the game, or on your computer, like things like that. It does a lot of different things that it's really interesting. I think it's very, I don't know, just smartly done. Also, it scares the shit out of you. So there's that. So yeah, I'd recommend very, very
they just
heavily.
released that for like
Interesting.
consoles, and I'm really tempted to get it
Oh,
and
did
play
they?
it. Yeah, like a expanded edition or whatever.
I was reading about that.
Wow.
I want to play it, but I've heard that I don't know how it plays because how they transferred to console controls. I don't know how that
Yeah,
works.
console
so I don't know
controls,
how
and there's
they did
certain
it.
things they do that's very much a computer thing.
Right.
So I
That's
don't-
why I'm like, maybe I do want to wait and just play this on PC.
Yeah,
instead.
and I mean, you probably put on the PC you have right now. It's just a visual novel. It's not like
Right,
hardware heavy
right.
or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I'd recommend anybody. The normal version's free. I don't know if they still have the normal version now that they have the Plus version out, but it's a free
Mhm.
game, and it takes about 5 hours to get through.
Oh, yeah. Brian's been trying to get me to play this for a while. I just haven't.
Forever.
And it's real. I'm real scared.
That
That's
sounds pretty
cool.
interesting.
That sounds really unique.
Boo!
Gotcha, listeners.
I'm gonna insert those, every now and then. I just thought of that now.
Jump scares. And all.
Jump scares. Yeah, just a random
Jump
scream.
scares inserted throughout the podcast. That's a good one. Yeah, that's one I did not think about at all. That's a good one. What's up, Devin?
Okay, so I know for the first one, I wanted to pick like a multiplayer scary game,
Interesting.
and the second one will be
Rocket League.
I hope the second
Rocket
Oh,
League
God.
Halloween edition.
when you're up 1 point and there's 1 minute left, very terrifying. No, but so I wanted to do one, and then my next one. I hope nobody will pick my next one, but we'll see. But the first one I have is, other than Halo 2 on Legendary, co-op, because that's also terrifying when you have to, like, you'll go back to the checkpoint if anybody dies. So you'll be cowering in corners a lot. But no, guys, I'm sure we all played this game. It was probably like the best game of like senior, junior year in high school. It is Left 4 Dead. That was so much fun. They managed to find a way to make a 4-player co-op game, split screen co-op, mind you. Like, you could actually be in the same room, couch co-op. And like, even though you're with 4 people, it still was terrifying. Like, you'd get split up, and the zombies are fast.
What
like,
a great pick.
Yeah, the zombies were so fast. Like, they could track you down. Just the regular zombies, just mobs and mobs of them. But then you had to deal with like the boomers, the hunters, the tongue ones, and then of course the witch. And like it's still, like, even though you're with your friends, like, and like you can talk and communicate, it was still terrifying because you'd get like trapped in a room and there'd be like 100 zombies like running in there, and you're just like out of ammo, and like you're down on the ground and they're like hitting you and stuff. Or like there'd always be somebody that would like run into the witch and wouldn't know what you're supposed to do, so like they would just like freak out and not like shoot her in the head immediately.
Let's talk about the witch some more. Nothing was scarier than that little song that she would sing.
Like, you'd hear her like whimpering.
I don't
like,
remember the witch.
You'd be going through like a dark kind of like place, and it's like, wait, where's the witch? Where is she? Where is she? And like, I think I was the one that always fucked it up. They'd be like, Devin, like you gotta get really close. Like, I'd just see her and shoot on sight, and then like, well, Devin's immediately down. And then the tank. Oh, I forgot about the tanks too. But yeah, like, so, and usually you'd lose. Like, usually I don't think.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It was one of those things where like people definitely could get it down to a science a little bit, but like generally you wouldn't make it through with all 4 people left. And like, if you did make it, it'd be like 2, like the 2 strongest players would make it through. But usually it was just like you'd get separated, split up, and it was just they found a way to make a really fun formula and still make it scary, even though you have 4 people all playing couch co-op. So I really enjoyed thinking about Left 4 Dead.
That was a really fun one.
I never played much of that game just because I never had an Xbox. It always looked like so much fun.
I played with friends a lot. That was great. They're making a new one. We should.
It's actually out right now.
Back 4 Blood is out.
It's out.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And like the graphics weren't very good, but it was okay because I think that allowed them to put more like, zombies on screen. But it was just funny because you'd be sitting there couch co-op, and like everybody would be screaming. Like the witch would be chasing people, and like you're like laughing, but you're screaming at the same time. And like it was very, very enjoyable. Like, it's everything that kind of game should be.
That game was very much made using the Source engine, the same one to make Half-Life. And it was obvious.
Yeah, very much.
Because that game was ugly as sin. But I mean, I played that game like as recently as maybe the last couple of years. Like I love that game.
Oh, wow.
And that's why it's kind of cool that Back 4 Blood is a nice spiritual successor. I haven't heard much about it, so I don't know if it's good or not. But
yeah, me too. I'm hoping that
stuff.
it's just as good.
I have a friend literally online playing it right now, so I'll ask him if it's any good.
Oh, wow. That's fun. Yeah, that's a good pick. I like because none of the picks I have involve multiplayer, so that's interesting. I never thought about it, just because like you never think that being in a group would be scary, but it still is somehow. Boo!
I
have one game I didn't put on my list, but maybe I should. It's fucking scary.
Yeah, I feel like just thinking about that multiplayer aspect, actually, it's like if you were to play that game solo, it would feel completely different and still scary. But something about getting separated from your friends is like an added fear factor that always happened.
Especially for like something like proximity chat. Proximity chat in the video games that are scary is the worst thing ever, because you're just yelling for them. And of course, they can't hear you. They're not close enough. It makes you feel so alone.
I always played split screen.
Yeah. And like, if you ever wandered off by yourself, you would always get hit by like the tongue one or like a hunter. And you like, it's one of the ones where you need help to get out of it, and you'd always die. Right. And you'd be like, and like, you just have to, the rest of the group would just be like, well, we just got to leave you. Like, sorry, like you got off by yourself. Like, we can't help you.
Oh, that's funny.
Many fun memories playing Left 4 Dead.
That makes me happy.
All right, my pick, I have not played. I will start up by saying this now. But I have watched someone else play it. And I had to like watch it from afar, holding my phone from afar because it was too scary.
Oh,
and
gosh.
That is PT, which was a demo, a weird Kojima demo, actually, for a secret Silent Hills game that never came to be.
Oh. PT?
PT, yeah.
Interesting.
It was good for a playable trailer, I believe. And so, and it was if you guys have seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about, listeners. It's a first person game, and it takes place in a house, or more likely a hallway, a series of hallways. And it's kind of also a puzzle game at the same time, where you have to solve certain weird aspects to get through to actually, because at the end of the game, you get revealed the trailer for Silent Hills, and Norman Reedus, homeboy from Walking Dead, is in it, and that's who you've been playing the whole time. But there's
Oh
this
wow.
terrifying aspect of that game where it's programmed that once you hit a certain point, if you turn around, a scary ass woman appears right in your face.
Oh
And it's the
fuck.
most horrific thing I think I've ever seen in a video game. Oh my
Wow.
God, it was
Oof.
awful to watch.
And what's funny is I remember seeing like people breaking the game and stuff like that to kind of like break it down and see how they did some of those tricks that they did. And one of those
Right.
tricks with that one particular about that woman behind
Mhm.
you is if you zoom out in the third person, you're not supposed to. It's a first person
Oh.
game. That woman is literally always behind you the entire time you're
The
playing.
whole time.
Oh gosh.
It's terrifying.
But she just turns
Oh,
around as
God.
you turn around. So then they just have one part where, and this is funny how games work to make things like that happen. Is basically the woman's connected to you, and then as soon as
Right.
they want her to pop out, they just make it so that she stops, and when you turn around, she's there, and it's just like that's so clever, but also terrifying, knowing
Ugh.
that woman is literally stalking you the
Oh
entire
my
time you're playing the game.
Oof.
And like
Yeah,
there are other parts where like you'll hear an answering machine that's telling you to like pick up the phone or blah 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 or some shit. You'll see that
Oh,
same woman
no.
in other parts of the
Nope.
house. She'll be like standing on the second floor, just looking down on you at a balcony, and it's like,
Nope.
oh,
it's
I hate
Nope.
this so much.
it's
It's
terrifying.
It's
Not gonna
scary.
play that one.
There's a weird fetus in a sink
Yes.
at one point.
That's what I was gonna
that
talk
Why
was a
is
about.
big-
there always a fetus somewhere?
Fetuses are
I
scary, dude.
It's real creepy. But yeah, it's like and it's because it's from Kojima, and he's just a genius. And so there's a lot of clever aspects and Easter eggs throughout this. There's at one point where you have to find a puzzle piece that's in the pause menu. Like you literally have to pause the
Wow.
game and find and it's like, who thinks of this? How did anyone
What a
figure this
guy.
out? It's insane. But yeah, just I wish I had downloaded that, because like it's gone. You can't get it anymore.
Whoa.
They took away the demo. But if you still had it on your PS4 at the time, you could play it still. And I wish I had at least downloaded it just to have that tiny little piece of history that's never coming back ever again.
Right.
Mhm.
That's so wild. I never even heard about that.
You should definitely watch a YouTube video on it. It's really interesting.
If you want to shit yourself,
I'm
just
too
look
scared.
it
I don't know.
up.
Also, I think Hideo
That's
Kojima does a
crazy.
really good job with what I was talking about with that fourth wall breaking aspect of just like
Yes.
a game's already kind of scary, but then when you make things that have to do things in real life, I'm just like, holy shit! It's in the pause menu. Like now, it's
Yeah.
like feel like things are creeping into my world, and I think that's what scares me the
Now
most.
turn around and look into the mirror.
Yeah, very,
Go-
very. Yeah,
Go to
very
your living
Kojima.
room.
I will smash my PlayStation. You
Too
can
much,
fuck right
too-
off.
Too much.
Nice. That's
That's
a really
nice.
good one.
Good
I
one.
didn't even think about that one. That one's one of the scariest games I've ever seen before in my life.
So the next scary game that came to my mind, I don't know if this game was supposed to be this scary, but this is one of the second scariest games that I've ever played in my life. It's called Hello Neighbor. I don't, listeners, if you haven't heard about it, check it out. It's a pretty inexpensive downloadable game, arcade style game. It's basically a first person game where you're like this little kid who sees his suspicious neighbor do something suspicious, more or less. He thinks the main character that you're playing thinks this neighbor killed somebody, and so he's trying to break into his house and discover clues and get out before this neighbor captures him, and then does God knows what to the little kid. It's really, really tense. It's fairly simple. You're just running around collecting clues and then hiding before the guy gets you.
Oh wow.
It tricks you because it's a very colorful, cartoony, Pixar-looking world.
Yeah.
Mm.
Very, very true. It's super vibrant, super saturated. It looks like a children's game. But when you start playing it, it's like so heightenedly tense, and you just like running around. It's like Twitch controls. You're like, everything moves super, super quick, and you're just trying to gather these clues and figure out what the hell you're supposed to even do, because it's very, very hands off. You just kind of been plopped into this world, and so you're just running around the house, running around the backyard, trying to figure out how to get into the basement. You're climbing on top of the roof, and then all of a sudden you hear the music. It's like dun dun, and you know that he's coming after you, and you just take off because he's gonna get you. It took me a while to realize that I was just kind of running around in circles, and eventually he would get me. But if you run far enough away back to your house, then he'll just like stare at you from across the road and eventually go back into his house, which is almost scarier.
That's fine.
I didn't get very far in the game. It gave me a lot of anxiety. It gave me a lot of anxiety.
Like it sounds like a funny pick, but I own that game and I won't play it because
it's too much, man.
I have like an anxiety thing where I just can't play video games where I'm getting like chased actively like that. Like it just really stresses me out.
Scary.
My decision making just goes out the fucking window. I just suddenly forget how to play video games. Period. As soon as someone's chasing me, like, and that game is all that it's based on. It's like as soon as he sees you, he starts chasing you, and my brain just goes kaput, and I'm just like, I can't. I can't
the
do
music
it.
really gets to me too, because it's like I feel like it's been a while since I played it, but I feel
like
like
a
it's
jump
fairly
scare music.
quiet until he like spots you,
Mhm.
Right.
and then it's just fucking over from then. I tried really hard not to pick because I feel like all games are a little bit stressful inherently because there's conflict,
Sure.
and that stress and release is what's fun for some reason. I don't know why we do this to ourselves. Why do we put ourselves through this stress?
Why do we pay money to be uncomfortable?
Right. So
Right.
I tried really hard to pick something that's not necessarily stressful, but scary and horror. And I couldn't not pick this game because I feel like it goes so far into that field. Because I was actively screaming while playing this game. Like I was so stressed that I was beyond stress, and I was literally scared. I was literally screaming while holding the controller. That rarely
That's so
happens.
Mm-hmm.
Terrifying game.
That's a good one.
Like I said, I don't know if it's supposed to be that scary, but man.
Guess it's my turn. We're gonna go for an old boy, which I might try to replay this month since it is Spoopy month, and y'all know I do stream twitch.tv/bythewayx. Anyway, this is an old game that used to scare the piss out of me because it came out when I was very young, and that is the original Resident Evil. We ain't talking about the remakes. We know those are scary. Of course they are. The graphics are Ultra HD 4K. Of course it's scary. I can see the whole monster's butthole now. But this game had to work a lot on inference, which a lot of old games had to do because you just couldn't make things but so good. I mean, it was just a bunch of clunky block characters. So they had to work a lot on mechanics and jump and scare and stuff like that to make people scared because you knew that you're not going to really be able to tell that this is even a zombie or a monster because you only got a few polygons.
Everybody looks like a monster.
Exactly. So Resident Evil did a very interesting thing in how they approach gameplay to kind of freak you out. So in this game, even though you play from like a third person, almost isometric view, you use what is often referred to as tank controls. When you press forward, you move forward, and then you always move forward no matter what direction you're looking. So that causes its own issue in itself because you can't control you can't control the camera. So if you were going through, if you go through like each level is kind of set out in like a way where it's like you have to go through like a transition screen, almost like a 2D game, where it's like you're in this box of space, you walk down the hallway, and then the camera's going to change and flip on you as you get to the other section of the hallway, and you're still using those tank controls. Now, the reason they did that was for the scary sections. Particularly, there's a lot of jump scares that happen in this game that you're not expecting. The big one was the dog section. If you played this game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you didn't, you probably don't. There's a section where you're just walking down the hallway, you're minding your own damn business as you're doing do my name's fucking, whatever. And then these two dogs just jump through the fucking window out of you for no reason. You don't expect it. It's never happened before ever in the game at that point. And then you get scared. And when you get scared, you kind of lose your sense of direction, sense of things, but then you're also using tank controls. So you're using tank controls. You can't run in this game. You can't sprint. You walk no matter what. You're getting fumbled every single time you change the direction. Your camera's going to change. So now you're walking into the wall randomly, all while these dogs are still chasing you. So you're just like, oh shit. Like that's it's just one of those games that make you like make that weird ass like cringe face where you're just, oh no. And everyone knows exactly what I'm talking. Everyone's made that face whenever they played a video game. We're just like, no. And that game just really hits like those things. And just it's like one of those games that just make it really intelligently how they like make a game scary. Another thing was the door transition. Whenever you went through a door, instead of just going to the next screen or there being like a, loading ... screen, there'll be a door animation that shows the door and it sits there for a second and then it opens slow as fuck. And then there's just darkness. And then you end up on the next part of the map. And that would happen so often And it would make so much tension because you have no idea what's going to be on this next screen once you get there.
Wow.
And
Oof.
sometimes it sucked. Sometimes it sucked really bad. And to this day, I hate games that do that because a lot of games have kind of stolen that for that same reason.
Huh.
And,
Jump scares.
yeah.
That's a good pick. I mean, yeah, Resident Evil's always been pretty scary.
It's always been a scary game.
Yeah.
It's just the way they did it. They kind of made...
I didn't get past the first zombie in that game. I emptied all my bullets into his chest, and then like I couldn't figure out how to equip and use the knife because that's how you're supposed to do that.
I mean, that's another terrifying aspect of it. Is that isn't it when you're in that menu, you're still like they can still kill you.
They can still kill you and stuff.
Menu.
And then also
Right.
you have limited resources in the entire game. There's a finite amount of like healing and bullets and things you can get in the entire game.
Right.
So once you use them, that's the end. You might not have bullets for the rest of the game.
Right. So the first zombie beat me, and I never picked it up again. I could not figure out how to pull up my knife. Well, hey, going off that,
Yeah.
Brian, I actually have another Resident Evil game for my other pick. The
Ooh.
scariest game ever. It is, well, to me, the scariest single player game, Resident Evil 4. It was
that game's not scary.
Good. It was.
I beat that game, so it's not scary.
I mean, I did beat it, but
the first half of that game was really scary
like
for
the
me.
the first village, they throw you into the first. I think the first house, you got to kill like 2
when
people.
you just got a little
Mhm.
And then
pistol.
there's already a chainsaw guy coming at you, and then so you might have used all your bullets and stuff, and then you come around the corner of this village, and there's like 30 people just walking around. And it's like, oh yeah, they are all gonna come at you. Like, and then you got to run around that village, and like there's a chainsaw guy coming at you. You got to like dip and dive through houses and stuff. I felt pretty bad because I was like watching videos on it in preparation for this, and like people have of course to like figured out how to be
They've
super
mastered
efficient
it.
and just not even try it. And
of
that one.
course.
But I was like dipping and dodging and like diving and like running around for your life. And it that whole game feels like you go through like labs, you go through castles. No matter how many like guns I got from like the what are you buying, stranger? Like that guy. Like no matter how many like automatic shotguns or machine guns or assault rifles you got from that guy, I never felt comfortable anywhere. Like you never feel like you have the upper hand in any boss fight. And like somehow you're always like at the edge of your rope with like resources and stuff. So I don't know. It's just, I thought it was really well done. They had some good jump scares and stuff in that too. And some pretty creative boss fights. Like there's one where I think you got to like freeze like with canisters and stuff. I can't remember, but the main one was Krauser. If you guys played it, you'll know who I'm talking about. Like your former squad mate or something. And he killed me. He must have killed me 50 times. Like I can still hear him. Like, because there was like time limit. So there's like I think you only got a few minutes to get these 3 crests to get through this gate. And he rigs this tower with like explosives. And so by the time you get to that, you only got maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes left if you're really good. And then you got to kill him. And like he turns on this like big shield thing. I don't know. I would get to that point so many times and he would just murder me again and again and again and again. And it was just very, very frustrating. Like that was the hardest boss fight in the game, and it wasn't even like the last one. So, but yeah, very terrifying
Now
game.
the question is, because they're supposed to be remaking this, Devin, will you play it again?
Yeah, I would.
You gotta.
Yeah.
That's considered one of the best
Nice.
Resident Evils to ever come out. You gotta.
That's actually the only Resident Evil game I've played.
I wish they would just let you move a little bit, because like what professional, like military person is going to stop and not walk at all when they're like
Right.
every Resident Evil game is like that. Like you got to, I got to make sure my accuracy, and I got to close one eye. Like, here's my red skin. It's like, man, there's so many times like in all the Resident Evil games when you like, I just want to move backwards so badly, but you can't.
Right.
Like you got to sit
The
there
newest
and
first
just
person
do it.
ones have answered your prayers on that one. It's a lot better with the combat, but it also makes it a lot easier. The last 2 Resident Evil games have been pretty easy, which has been kind of a complaint for a lot of people. I think Resident Evil 4 might have been one of the last ones that felt, I guess, difficult for people.
Difficult.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think
That's
just like with the first one, it adds to the scary factor. I remember like in order to turn around, you had to do like a combo move in order to like quickly
quick
turn
turn.
around and run away.
Yeah.
Yeah, the quick turn. When I figured that shit out, it was like like a combo move in a fighting game or something. I was like, oh shit, this is a game changer.
And then you fumble with it because you're scared, so you quick turn twice, so you're back looking at the enemy again.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep. hmm
Yeah, but you're right. Like after 4, they kind of like got like, I know my brother and I played through 5, and it was more of an action game than really a scary game. And then 6 was kind of the same way. So they kind of got away from that. But yeah, but Leon could like jog a little bit. You could like do kind of like a fast walk So that was better than Resident Evil 1, I guess. You could maybe get a little bit of speed going.
I would be booking ass if I saw some of these enemies. I get so mad at these. I don't care if you're a police officer, man. That's scary. I'm running.
Right. Yeah, that whole franchise should be on there. But all right. My next one is definitely one that I think pertains to a lot of people, but it definitely traumatized me as a child, I would say, for one particular reason, and it is Banjo Kazooie.
What the fuck?
For the only reason for that shark.
Oh my god!
Whenever you fell in the water,
I am
and
dumbstruck.
that music kicked on, and that shark would follow you around as a child.
Oh man!
Going back to Brian of like not knowing, just like panicking. You trying to jump onto the tiniest little barrel in the water, like, come on, jump, get in there, hurry up, he's coming,
Just
hurry up. Was the most terrifying thing as a child. And I will never forget that game ever again.
Wow.
I never beat it. Also, that witch was scary as shit as well. Fuck that game. It sucks.
You took
Play Banjo-Kazooie. It's so good.
You took one of the most beloved children's games of all time and put it in your scariest games of all time.
Wow!
I had to. I told you.
I mean, that's fair.
Oscar, the witch talks like nah.
No, but when you're like 5 years old, that shit is scary.
I will say the water levels on almost all game, including Super Mario Bros.
True.
And Mario 64 is the scariest thing.
It's
ever.
like Sonic
Water in
as
video
well.
games is just terrifying.
It stresses me out real
Yeah,
bad.
Sonic.
Yep.
Yeah, oh god.
Because they play that
that's true.
music. And that
It's
music
too
is
much,
so
yeah.
rough.
It's too much for my
True.
heart.
It's a
I
good
can't
one.
take it.
Water levels are just scary.
Yeah, I wanted to try to think outside the box for that.
That was
I
good.
mean,
I like that.
it's making me mad because you're giving me ideas now.
Like for other games, yeah. I do like that.
I know another
That's
game exactly like that for me.
PTSD. I looked up the song again. I was like, yep, still scary. All right, moving on.
Still scary.
Oh,
So yeah,
man.
Banjo Kazooie. Fuck that game. All right. Do you guys want to do a bit of a speed round to knock a couple more off?
I got some
I'm
more.
down for a
I
speed
have some
round.
honorable mentions.
All right, let's go. Let's speed round it.
All right, I got another one that I played. I didn't get very far in this one because it was really, really, really scary. Maybe scarier than the other two games I mentioned. This was Dead Space.
Oh, that was
yeah.
one of mine too. Yep.
Yeah.
That was
my honorable
Agreed.
mention.
Yeah.
So good.
I only played it for like 3-4 hours max, probably. Because
You beat me.
I remember it was so cool because they were like alien zombies or whatever. They had to
Mhm.
shoot, but you couldn't shoot them in the head. You had to
Mhm.
shoot off all of their limbs.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I just
Yep.
thought that was a really creative gimmick. And it was
Mhm.
also like you had to be precise and also like precise in multiple different situations for just one enemy. So it was like stressful and precision making and jump scares and lighting design and sound design.
Mm-hmm.
It was firing on all cylinders to such an extent that I couldn't play it anymore.
Yeah, you beat me. I think I played that game for all of 3 or 4 minutes. I think.
Yeah.
This was back in college, freshman year, and they put me in a room by myself,
Mhm.
turned the lights off, and told me to play it. And I got through the opening of that, and I said, "I'm done. I'm done. I can't."
The opening still haunts me. Yeah, I don't remember
When
too much
that
more after
monster chased me to the elevator, I was like, "Nope." I paused it and I left the room.
That's
Yeah.
enough for me.
And I liked
That's good.
it was so innovative in so many ways too. Like I love the limited like heads up display. So like everything that you needed to know, like
Oh,
your
yeah.
health bar was on your back.
Yeah.
And then when you started having like other energy gauges and stuff, it'd be on the back of Isaac. So like there wasn't like unnecessary clutter on the screen. Like it was just cool for that reason too.
Very
So
cinematic.
yeah, very, very innovative and like fresh. It was a breath of fresh
I
air.
am excited for this remake.
Yep,
though.
they're remaking it.
I'm excited for it.
I might try it.
I played through the whole like trilogy of it, and like the 2 and 3 basically just turned into like action games. Like it got far
Yeah.
less scary
they
the more it
seem
went
like
on.
that.
It did the same thing Resident Evil did when Resident Evil went actiony more than horror-y. So yeah.
Yeah, it got much more actiony and less scary. But that first one, I mean, yeah, that first creepy getting on that ship, you don't really know what's going on. Oh, so good.
Oh, yeah.
Never played it. Maybe never will. We'll see.
I want to. It looks really good. That's the thing. I was like, I want to play it, so maybe I'll get back to it. I don't know.
Okay, I'll go one real quick. Speed round.
Yeah.
So in kind of the same vein that Oscar was talking about Banjo-Kazooie, a game that really scared the shit out of me that maybe shouldn't have is Fallout 3. So Fallout 3, as everyone knows, is the same Fallout shelter.
Yes.
It's about the apocalypse and the nuclear apocalypse and things like that. One thing about the nuclear apocalypse was not everybody made it into the bunkers, and the people that did not make it into the bunkers did not all die. Some of the irradiated folks turned into what they call ghouls in the game. Some of the ghouls are normal ass people that just look kind of gross, which is fine. But then some of them that got so the radiation turned them so hard that they became feral ghouls. And where do they hide? In the DC subway, in the metro stations.
It's the worst.
Nothing was worse than the first time you had to go down to that metro station. It is dark. I turned the gamma all the way up in that game because I was so afraid of the ghouls. And it is so scary.
I need to see in the dark.
Yeah, just to see in the dark, just to see them, because they just come out of holes and all these different places, and they make these guttural noises, these those kind of noises, and it's just
it's awful.
So awful. I hated it. I do the same mission as soon as possible at Tenpenny Tower, where you can get what's called a ghoul mask, because then it makes it makes them not try to fight you anymore. And I do that as quick as I can, because I'll be up damned if I go into a metro station having to actually kill these enemies, because they
as soon as I found out that was
funny.
an item you could get in the game, I went to find it immediately.
I don't think I ever got that.
It's
that
still
mask. That
scary because since they don't aggro on you, you can still turn a corner and it'll just be standing there. And it's like,
into space.
And it'll still be terrifying.
But Brian, the regular ones are some of the easiest. I don't remember them ever giving me trouble. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean you can shoot them once you get into any kind of higher level. They're nothing, but it's still just the scare factor of them.
Early on.
Just in the dark, it's scary.
Well, Alex had my honorable mention, which was Dead Space. So I guess I'll go with Overcooked, because it's just terrifying when you.
We're getting real loose with the definition of scary games right now.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's not really. Is that scary or is it just stressful? It's definitely
stressful.
very
stressful.
It's very stressful.
Yeah, it's just very.
I don't know.
Stressful
Food service is pretty scary. I wouldn't do it.
I think I've had more tension in my chest playing Overcooked than I've had probably in either of the games I mentioned already.
I mean,
we
that's
gotta get that thirst off.
That's very true.
Chop the onions. We gotta get it right.
You were supposed to wash the dishes.
We just gotta get one more. Gosh. We gotta get one more. You gotta plate it. Just keep it.
Was it in Atlanta that a lot of us played that together? It was so frustrating trying to play that game with 4 people.
Me and Brian finally beat that game.
We didn't beat it. Yeah.
Whoa.
We 3-starred that game.
It's a lot easier with 2 people than it is with 4.
You screaming at each other about frying burgers and cooking pasta. It's hilarious.
We're fish and chips. We need more fish and chips.
I'm getting stressed just thinking about it.
That'll break a lot of friendships. That'll break a lot of relationships right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like you said, Dead Space was mine. So I'm torn between 2. I might go with both. But the first one I'll go with, because it was kind of more of a phenomenon, but it was also scary because Brian forced me and Alex to play it, and that was Slender Man.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that game fucking sucked. Mostly because Brian brought his laptop into our dorm room and said, "Here, play this." He turned the lights off and he put us in headphones. And the whole time I'm like, I don't want to play this because I know you 2 jackasses are standing behind me the whole fucking time. But basically, all you have to do is walk around a dumb forest and click pages, and the whole time some really scary pale man is trying to kill you. As soon as the first
he's trying
chance
to look at you. He just wants to look at you, really.
You don't really know what he does once he gets to you. You see his face and you get scared.
I mean, you know what he does.
Oh, do I?
I don't know. So what happened when I played it was, as soon as I saw him, I said, screw it. And I ran at him. I was like, let me do it. Take me away.
Take me.
I mean, that's a tactic. I won't say it's a good one, but it is a tactic.
Yeah, that was the only time I played that game.
I love that game a lot of the same reasons I love Resident Evil, because it's a really ugly game. No offense to the creator of it. But it's a pretty simple looking game. But the best part about it is really its sound design. It really scares you with the way that you just feel so alone. It's like a deafening silence at times. And then you start hearing a TV signal sound when Slenderland starts getting close, and your screen starts to freak out a little bit. And nothing's worse than you being in an enclosed space like the bathroom or something. And you just hear,
right.
Where the fuck is he? Oh my. Yeah, no, that
giving
game
me chills.
Very scary. also real quick. I played this game actually. It came out this year, January, and I played it very recently with my friends. It's a multiplayer game similar to Left 4 Dead, but scarier. It is called Devour. Devour is really scary. It's very cheap. I think it's like $5 on PC. I don't know if you can play it on console yet. But the biggest thing that makes it scary is basically you're a bunch of cultists and you're trying to like summon some sort of demon lord or something like that, but you have to like collect things and put them in places. It's very much a puzzle heavy game, but there's two things you can do in this game that makes it super scary. One, there's proximity chat. So if you were hanging out with your friends, if they're not close to you, they cannot hear you. So it does that thing, that feeling alone thing, where it's like when you are alone and you are yelling and no one's responding back and you are in the dark and there is something chasing you, it's a pants shitter for sure. It'll make you shit your pants, 100%. There's that. And then there's also, you can toggle this thing, this collision thing. You know, in a lot of games in multiplayer, you can't actually hit other players. Like you can just run through them oftentimes. You can make it so that you can't run through players in the game. And you get stuck in a lot of really close corridors. And there's a stalking enemy that like chases you around the whole time. So when you have an enemy chasing you around, you're in a small corridor trying to figure out a puzzle. And then she comes through that bitch. You start knocking into each other, falling all over each other, screaming, hollering, crying. It it hits home. And then it has a huge jump scare. When the enemy actually catches you, there's a huge jump scare before she carries you away and puts you into like some kind of hole or something. And man, I tell you, because I didn't know what to expect from this game. My friend was just like, hey, I bought this for you. Play it. When I tell you, the first time she caught me, I almost cried. Like I did not expect it at all. What happened there? So really fun multiplayer game to play with some friends, and it's like $5 right now. I don't know if it's always that a price. It's worth the $5.
We should play it ourselves. We should all get gaming PCs and play it.
Yeah,
it's another game that's not super attractive, so I don't know how well it'll work on other like computers. But
right.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's a good one. My other real quick shout out was for Outlast.
Yep. Fuck that game.
First person game, takes place in an asylum. You can't fight anything. The whole point is you're a reporter, so your point of view is either just the normal one, or you can put your camera up and use the night vision when it gets dark. But you have a limited amount, and you have to find batteries in case you run out.
Nope.
And it is terrifying. It is horrific, and I never played it, but I watched someone play it because I was too chicken to play it myself. I want to because it looks really fun, but man.
I tried to play it on stream last year and around this time, and I only played maybe an hour, and I was like, nope. I was drinking too.
Speaking of batteries, that reminds me, I was talking to my wife Bambi about this before we started recording, about what scary game she might have played. And she was a gamer back in the day when everybody was playing games as a kid. And top scary games that she remembers were Rugrats in Paris. I don't know if you guys played that on PlayStation 1. There's this mission where she was explaining it to me. She said she has nightmares about it still, apparently. There's this mission where you're like in the dark and all you have is a flashlight. And you're
my God, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep. And the flashlight's running out of battery the whole time, and you're just like this little toddler stranded, which is very scary on its own.
Yeah.
And that's actually a really cool gimmick that's in this other popular franchise that my wife's younger brother, Julian, is in love with, called Five Nights at Freddy's. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys played that before, but it's basically you're trapped in this haunted...
trying to fucking Chuck E. Cheese or some shit.
Chuck E. Cheese style, yeah. And the animatronic like robot people are coming to life and trying to kill you. Mm-hmm. And all you have is a flashlight, and it's like a point and click adventure style game. And you're just trying to find different clues to escape, but your flashlight is running out of juice the whole time.
Oh.
I played it once, and I was like, I can't. I just can't.
The one I saw that was like you're in the security office, and like you can switch between the cameras, but if you do it too much, you run out of power. But if you don't do it at all,
batteries.
Like it's kind of like red light, green light to them, right? Like if you see them,
I
they
think
won't
so. Yeah,
come to the
like
office.
Moving a little bit each time.
Yeah, and then eventually, if you run out of power, that you just turn around and they're like in the office with you.
Yep, I hate it.
Yeah,
fuck that.
I'm already afraid of Chuck E. Cheese as it is.
Very creative concept.
Also, another game that she mentioned that she was scared about as a kid was Dennis the Menace. I think it was on Super Nintendo.
Oh, man. Because fucking, what's his face? He just starts running through. I know exactly the game you're talking about.
It's kind of, I never played it, but it's kind of similar to Hello Neighbor, it sounds like, where you're just kind of like sneaking around and trying to get out before the grumpy old man catches you and just, I don't know,
really
rips
funny.
your legs off or something. I don't know what he does.
That's really funny.
he just like takes you away while spanking your butt, and it's really not.
Oh, no.
Sometimes,
scary,
yeah,
but-
like when
That's
there's only
fucked up.
like 3 pixels, man, those 3 pixels can haunt you forever.
There's something
Yeah.
about those little kid games like Rugrats and Dennis and Banjo-Kazooie and Mario being scary is like
Right.
even scarier sometimes.
Yeah, fucking
Yeah.
Mr. Wilson. I remember now. Yeah.
Mr. fucking Wilson.
Mr. Wilson would take you and he would spank your little booty, and that shit used to scare the crap out of me, man.
That's good.
Yeah, I think we all learned that we're all a bunch of chicken shits that aren't very good at playing scary games.
Nope.
Well, maybe one day.
Maybe one day we'll finish a scary game. But that was good.
Nope.
One last thing. Most terrifying thing video game wise I've ever seen is watching Devin play Super Smash Brothers. All right.
Shots fired.
How do you get back up on the platform? Up B?
Second place
Okay,
is watching
I
him play
jumped.
Arkham Knight.
I jumped twice.
He was.
Oh no.
I almost forgot about that. That's a good one.
Oh, man.
Thank you for all them scary games, guys. It's a spooky season. Boo!
Mhm.
Oh,
All right.
Happy Halloween.
Gotcha. Happy Halloween or whatever you celebrate.
Man, I love Kwanzaa.
Listeners.
Valentine's Day.
Yes.
All right, guys. It is time for our final segment of the week, which we like to call Free for All. Free for All. It's back. Title pending.
Free for all.
This is a segment, listeners. We get to do whatever we kind of want. We can recommend something. We can talk about our day. We can go on a rant. We can be Devin. Let's go. It's free for all.
I want to be Devin.
Well, today, guys, since we just covered spooky games that made us feel all,
Yeah.
scared inside, I want to ask you guys, my only free for all today is to ask you guys a question.
Oh.
So
Ooh.
in scary movies and or games, I think more so movies, because games, they always have to kind of like, you always have to have a mechanism to fight stuff, which isn't always the case in movies. So what scares you guys of like paranormal like threats, like things that in scary movies, what scares you the most? Like slasher or like a Saw guy or like a ghost or like vampires or werewolves
Oh,
or,
word.
just the classic mummies, like zombies. So
Yeah.
that's what I want to ask you guys today. So for me, the answer is always specifically old lady ghosts, because they always do the
That's pretty
faces
good,
so
actually.
good. Like, okay, example, Insidious, horribly scary lady.
Yes.
Okay,
That's a good one.
even though the rest of the movie's kind of, and then they have that Darth Maul like half brother, whatever. Who else? Oh, Dead Silence, fucking the most terrifying face ever in a scary movie. That puppet lady. That movie was so well done. And then The Woman in Black. That movie's fucking
I haven't seen
terrifying.
that.
And they just basically did that whole thing of like, yeah, this is just a scary lady ghost. And I'm like, that's my ultimate fear. So this is the worst
that's
movie for me to
creepy.
watch. So like that, to me, it's a scary lady ghost. Like demons, you can always fight them with like, religion. People, you
Fight
can
them
always
with
like run
religion.
away or make smart decisions. Like, but old scary lady
Any
ghosts,
religion.
like
It doesn't matter.
in Insidious, like that old lady ghost just like possessed that guy's body just cause. Okay, you can't fight them.
Yeah.
They got
That
no
was
logic or
terrifying.
reasoning. They just fuck you up,
Yeah.
and they look scary. That's all I got to say.
Catholicism can't
Because
save
they always
you.
got like a weird veil on.
Yeah, that's true.
That's good. I like that.
That's a
question.
good one.
Mine is kind of similar. I'm more always get scared about the demon stuff and like devil shit, but also ghost stuff. Like the scariest movie that I have seen lately. Well, it's a 2-part answer, I guess. The scariest movie that I've seen of like modern horror movies, that came out in the past 20 years or so, is definitely Hereditary. I don't know if you guys
Ooh,
saw
that was a
it,
good one,
yeah.
but it was
Yeah, that's a good one.
I didn't think
It
it was
was
that big.
I thought that movie
it was
sucked.
fucking terrifying. Are you kidding me? Oh my
Oh, it
god!
was scary.
Nah.
It was also such a good movie. I can't believe you
I
guys didn't
hated
like
it.
it. Wow.
I thought it was good.
It was.
liked
I
It
thought
got
it was
overhyped for me.
okay. Well, I saw it pretty early on, so there was like zero hype, which was great. But I really liked the movie. I thought it was very, very powerful and well done. But it also
Mhm.
made me
Mhm.
scared for my life watching it. And for literally, I'm not gonna lie, 2 weeks after, I was literally looking over my shoulder at
Yeah.
every moment, making sure I wasn't about to get possessed or got or
Or got.
yeah, I don't want to get got.
They found a way to make a naked dude just like wandering in your house at like in the middle of the night.
Oh my gosh.
Like not just kind of like goofy, but they made it kind of terrifying. I was like, oh shit, like this guy he is unworried by your resistance,
Right.
and he
He
is
is
in your
unworried.
house.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like demonic stuff and like possessions and
That's
stuff like
yeah.
that.
Mhm.
When it's well done is like really scary to me. Similar
Yeah,
to like
agreed.
Insidious and that sort of thing. The second scariest movie that I've seen, this might be the scariest movie that I've seen. It's a little bit older though. Is the original Candyman. That shit.
I still haven't seen that.
Candyman.
That shit is really scary.
Yeah, I watched that when I was way too young.
Yeah,
for sure.
I watched it for the first time 4 years ago, and it was a rough time.
So as an adult,
it was
yeah.
a rough moment. It was also very well done. Great movie. Hella scary. But I'm not sure what to classify that villain as. He's like it's not really a demon, but
I think that's like
supernatural.
spiritual. Yeah, that's supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as specific as my other go-to most scary thing, but yeah.
Right. For me, I was gonna say like humans, like cult stuff. If I was like Midsummer, if I'm the only person there, especially the only brown person there in a cult of white people, that's terrifying.
Exactly what I
That's
was gonna
horrific.
That's a great answer.
As a person of color as well, I was like, if some white people take me to a goddamn cult, I am killing myself. Fuck this. I do not think.
Like if it's that specific scenario, terrifying. But like as far as like home invasion type of shit, that doesn't scare me as much.
Right.
So like if I'm at home, it's probably more like ghostly stuff, primarily like ghostly children, and like back to Devin, the ghostly old women. Ghostly old women, old women, just old women are scary.
Just old women in general.
Just an old lady on a park bench.
She minding her business. She's feeding the birds, and you're like, "Oh shit,
get away from me, ghost!"
They always got the scariest faces.
That's so rude.
Because like shit, like the Ring, that's still demonic-y stuff. But I feel like I could take her.
Oh no, you couldn't, dude. No, you could not.
She got that supernatural strength.
Yeah, she's gonna fuck
I feel like I could hit
dude.
her once.
She gonna yeet you across the room.
I'd take her with a bat and she's done. She's out.
Bro, her bones don't matter. You see
I'd chuck her ass straight through that tube TV. I don't give a fuck.
That shit is a no for me.
But no, it's like the supernatural shit. Like as a kid, when people would tell you to go to the bathroom and turn the lights off and what is it, say Bloody Mary like 5 times or to the mirror or some shit.
Like
like
this
that
party
shit
is over.
would terrify me as a kid.
I will leave this sleepover.
But it's like, and like zombies aren't scary because I feel like unless they're fast zombies. If they're fast zombies, we're all fucked.
Oh yeah,
fast zombies not doing anything.
Scary.
My cardio is not up on that.
We're screwed.
Fast zombies are scary. Slow zombies is almost exciting. Slow zombies is like, hey, like,
that'd be fun.
I don't have to go to my job. Like I don't have to pay bills anymore. Like I can. Like we can.
That's the one thing he's excited
Capitalism is so bad that we want zombies. God.
It's like awful. It's like, there's a zombie outbreak. Like great.
That's amazing.
Like, awesome. Like,
I'm not going to work today. Yes.
You know, we live in a bad world, but you'd rather have zombies than pay some bills.
I don't have to worry about my credit score anymore. This is awesome.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's awesome.
Like, hey, guess what? No health insurance. Don't need it anymore anyway. It's not a concern anymore.
My health insurance doesn't cover zombie bites. It doesn't matter.
With my post-apocalyptic band of people that I'm gonna find. Man. We're gonna look out for each other. We're gonna treat each other like we should. There's gonna be a doctor.
You know what we're not gonna do? We're not gonna treat each other as we should.
No, we're not. We're gonna treat each other like we do right now. Real shitty.
Right. We have a pandemic right now, and we're not treating each other the way we should.
We're going back to our hunter-gatherer roots.
Now everybody just come together and share materials.
We're going back. We're going back to the basics.
Murder.
We're gonna grow some stuff. We're gonna pick some berries. And we're gonna avoid the monsters, just like we did back 30,000 years ago.
Nah, man, you must have never played any video game.
But now the monsters are zombies instead of lions. So anyway, sorry about that.
That's great.
Well, I'll do mine real quick. I'm afraid of, speaking of homegirl being overpowered, I'm afraid of overpowered serial killers. The Michael Myers, the Jasons, and stuff like that. Because it's one of those things where it's like, they're supposed to be normal people, quote unquote. But somehow Michael Myers has never done anything more than a pretty stiff walk, but somehow always manages to catch up to me. Man, he never died. There's been like 10 movies, and this motherfucker still. Jason has been at the bottom of a river. He died in space. The man's been burned alive. Why is that man still walking? Why does he still exist?
Yeah.
What do I do?
They never explain it either.
What do I do?
I know why Jamie Lee Curtis is freaking out in that new Halloween Kills. Because, man, what the fuck?
Yeah. That
Yeah.
goes back to like the supernatural.
It's like, how is he doing this? It's like, oh, he got burned as a child. It's like, so he has super strength.
I got burned as a child too, and now I just have a burn. Like, what the fuck?
He literally is killing me by burning me alive, and I'm not having super strength.
Yeah, I was gonna say Saw might be something that would scare me, but if I was ever, I want to play a game, I'm dying. I'm just gonna kill myself at the end.
It's like, it's
Right.
okay, dude.
But
If
you
I had
didn't-
that bear trap on my face, I'm like, pull it. Let's end this
Right.
shit now.
I didn't get to finish my. I was gonna tell you that you're supposed to live. Nope, I'm gone. Bye. Oh, I thought he cared about life. Nope. No way. This is weird. Goodbye.
Yeah, no, like the super, like I was literally thinking Michael Myers as well. Not Austin Powers. Michael Myers.
Mhm.
Are you feeling groovy,
at the same
baby?
time?
Also
Yeah.
terrifying, by the way.
Scary for different reasons, but yes.
Those kind of movies, they'll like drop a nuke on Michael Myers, and he'll and you're still unconvinced. It's like he probably survived that. Like they will kill them in so over the top ways of like there's no possible way that you even like exist as matter anymore. Like we've broken the laws of physics, and now your matter doesn't even exist, and somehow they're always
It's
alive
true.
again.
The power
Makes no
of
sense.
Very
scary.
true.
I like those answers,
Yeah.
boys.
No, that was a really good question. That was a good on-theme
That's great.
question, Devin.
There you go. Happy holidays, everyone. It is the holiday
Yeah,
season.
it's a great
I'll
on-theme question.
go next because I got a real quick because mine's also on theme. I watched the little Star Wars animated Terrifying Tales short on Disney Plus. It was just like a cute little children's. It's Lego, so it's Lego Star Wars.
nice.
It's
Oh.
like a cute little thing of them like doing spooks. It's with Poe and BB-8 going to Mustafar, the lava planet, and Darth Vader's castle.
Oh,
And it's just like corny, like children shit. It was exactly what I thought it was, but slightly worse.
Oh no.
Because they did a really fun like Christmas one last year that I thought was actually really fun and really good. They dealt with like time travel and shit. But this one is just like meh. Okay, it's okay. A kid would really enjoy it.
Nice.
But yeah, that's me.
So I shouldn't watch it.
Nah.
Noted. I will not. Didn't even know it existed. I can go next. I actually watched critically acclaimed series that has been all over the news and everything. Squid Game.
Oh,
I watched through all of that.
no spoilers. No spoilers.
I won't call it critically acclaimed yet, but I'm sure it will be because people love the shit out of that.
yeah, they sure do.
show.
I haven't seen any of it yet.
And
Yeah, same.
rightfully so. It is actually well, I'll preface this first by saying I'm a pretty big Battle Royale fan. It's a Japanese movie that came out in like 2000. I also liked Hunger
Yeah.
Games a lot until the last book got made into movies. That shit's boring. Other than that, I just really like that kind of like Battle Royale kind of style of stuff going on, just people fighting for their lives. That's very much what this show is about. No spoilers, of course. This all happens pretty early in the show. But basically, it's about a guy named Gi-hun. He is in quote unquote pretty serious debt. When you change the Korean currency to USD, it actually turns out most of these people are not nearly as broke as they think they are. I guess college debt isn't a thing for a lot of them. So, people be like, oh, yeah, I'm in so much debt. And that should be like $50K. And it's like,
Yeah.
Oh shit.
bro, you,
Oh,
can, you can
shit.
file a chapter 13,
Which is
you'll
like
probably
50
be good after you pay it off for a couple years. Like, it'd be fine.
Right.
But like, no, these people usually have really
Right.
bad debt. Again, was in really bad debt. His wife divorced him. He's living a pretty bad life. He gambles a shit ton. And then a dude shows up and was like, hey, you want to play a game real quick? I'll give you like, I don't know, something like $1,000 or $2,000 if you win. And he just keeps playing this game with this dude. And when he loses, the guy just keeps smacking the shit out of him over and over again. And then until he eventually wins. He's like, give me my fucking money. I won. Even though you've played like 100 games at this point, bro. Like, you didn't really
Right.
win. And he's like, do you want to win some more money? And then basically they get taken to basically play in this thing called the Squid Game, where it's just a series of games in order to win a shit ton of money. And it kind of goes from there, and it goes a lot of different ways. Ending is not great. I think that's the worst part about it. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what the ending is. I'm just going to let you know that they do set it up for a second season, which I think they should.
Brian,
Oh,
I have a
fuck.
quick question. Are there any squids in this show?
There are no actual squids. I don't even think they eat
0
a squid.
out of 10. Fuck this show.
So Squid Game apparently is a game that was played in South Korea, maybe
Yeah.
North and
Right,
South Korea. Yeah, it doesn't really have too much to do with squids, even in the game itself. But that's what the name kind of comes from, and you'll get to learn all those kind of things of
It's just
why.
like because they're playing
Gotcha.
kids games.
Yeah.
No, I really want to see
I would
it.
very
It
much
sounds
recommend it.
really
It's
good.
even though it's like what is it, 9 episodes, maybe like 9 hours total, a little bit less. The shows, all the episodes are less than an hour. I watched it all in a day. I was so just encapsulated, wanted to see the next moment that I watched it in a whole day, just over the weekend, and it was really good. So I'd highly recommend.
I just watched episode 2 and I'm like very invested in it. But like, I think the main thing that goes through my mind when watching this and also watching Parasite, it's like instead of maybe these death games and maybe like, you know, breaking into like people's houses and like infiltrating a people's houses like a servant family, maybe South Korea needs some economic reform. Like they need some fucking help. Like it looks very hard to survive in South Korea.
They say a lot of the same things about us, Devin, here in America.
I know.
And we're considered one of the richest countries of the world. So it's weird that we need an economic reform as well.
Aren't we also
Crazy
the
how that
most
works.
in-debt country in the world?
We're about to run out of money this month.
Tell me about it.
But I mean,
Shit.
like, even if you have like, you know, like student loans, I'm not ever like, even if it was like 200,000, you could not convince me to go play Squid Game. Okay.
You don't think?
I would 100% kill Devin for $200,000.
Oh, 200,000. Oh my gosh.
Didn't even blink. He said yes.
The pot in this game is about 40 million.
Nobody even asked you,
To be
Oscar.
fair.
I volunteer.
He said, I'll kill you for fucking 2 months' salary as an IT guy.
Dang, man. This podcast is over. I'm leaving this sleepover.
The friendship is strong in this podcast.
So the Squid Game pot is actually $40 million, which is funny to me, considering we have men that live in our country that have over $200 billion liquid, whatever.
Right.
And people are willing to kill each other over a percentage point of that money.
Right.
I think Jeffrey Bezos was watching Squid Game like, you know what? This is a good idea. Like, let me set
that's
this
what
up.
I was saying.
Like,
I think he's going to do
wish
it.
he would go to space and just get lost.
I agree. Maybe with William Shatner, because apparently he wants to go too.
Oh, I heard about that.
He did go.
He already
90
went?
years old.
Oh, wow.
He
it's
went.
a pretty alarming thing.
He didn't die? Sorry, William Shatner, you're fine.
It's getting a little bleak, guys.
I apologize. It's watching all that Korean television. It's fucking me up.
Going back to earlier, being excited for zombies, the zombie apocalypse, I guess I'm not going to hang out with Oscar during that because he's going to be the one that throws me under the bus almost
That
immediately.
man is going to eat you
Oh, yeah,
in a
real
day.
quick. Real quick.
We've still got food. Electricity still exists,
Right.
and this man's already eaten you.
He's like, the Costco's still open. Devin, come here.
One of us is going to be the zombie that eats the other. That's how it's going to go, Oscar. It's poetic.
All right, I'll go last, but definitely not least. For Halloween this year, me and my wife, we love to dress up. Last year, we did a little family dress up with our puppy. We were the lion, the scarecrow, and the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz.
Oh,
Yeah,
Wizard of
yeah,
Oz?
it was a big hit. So we're trying to figure out what to do. This year, we have a second puppy, Coda Bear. And we finally landed on something. We're gonna do the Addams Family.
Nice.
Ooh,
Yeah, we're excited. We're gonna
Nice.
put a little
What are you
costumes
going
on
to
the
be?
dog.
Are you Gomez?
I'm gonna be Morticia. Yeah, so I'm gonna be a little sexy lady
Nice.
in a dress. Yeah, I'm excited.
Nice.
Into it. Love it.
That's awesome.
Morticia
Oh,
with a
that's great.
mustache, and we're gonna draw a mustache on Bambi. So we'll be Addams Family with two mustaches.
I love that.
Nice.
I love
Wait,
that.
so what are the puppy? What are the dogs going to
Indy,
be?
the older dog, is gonna be Wednesday Addams. We're gonna get a little like white
Nice.
collar and hopefully some pigtails. And then Coda's a little rambunctious puppy, so she's gonna be Pugsley, and we're just gonna get like a white and black striped
Yes.
striped outfit.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
That's good. That's
Are you
really
guys
good.
Are you guys dressing up? You guys going trick or treating?
I ain't got shit to do.
Bro, you should put on a funny costume and just walk around.
Just walk around.
Yeah, that's all we're doing.
That
We're not
sounds
going
sketchy.
trick or treating. We're just walking through the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys live in
Yeah.
New York. It's a lot different from me walking through the suburbs.
Can't you go through Richmond or something? I don't know.
I guess I could. I don't know.
It is a
Maybe
lot
I'll
more
find
fun in
something
New
to
York.
do.
You should just come up to New York for the week.
If not, Brian, yeah, you should come hang out with us.
I thought about it. Maybe
Mhm.
potentially. Maybe it'll be a thing.
You should do it.
Up in
It'd be
NY?
fun.
That'd be cool.
Sick.
Yeah.
Well, down here we're gonna go as so my friends / roommates have a bunch of people coming down for that weekend, and we're all gonna be Avatar Squad characters. So like,
Oh,
Nice.
Devin Saka.
so I joined it pretty late. So all the cool ones are taken. So I'm gonna try to be Avatar Roku, I think, and then my
Oh,
girlfriend is
sick.
gonna be Ty Lee.
Momo.
So, but I'm excited to walk around as Avatar Roku and just like
I think
like,
Avatar
That's a
Roku is
good
super
one.
cool, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought you were
that's
gonna be
dope.
solid.
I am very excited about it. So I just got to find like a big red cloaky kind of dress thing.
You should
I'll
be
think of
Avatar Kyoshi,
That would be that would
with
be
the
cool
face
too.
paint.
That'd be dope
voiced by
too.
Jennifer Hale.
That
by
would
the
be
way.
cool.
Oh no shit, really?
Yeah.
That's dope.
I gotta finish that that
Yeah.
chorus so we can talk about that.
Is someone Aang? Is someone bald and
Yeah,
Aang?
yeah. So my buddy Mass, who like
Yes.
doesn't have hair, he's gonna be Aang,
I could be.
and he also has like
That's
the chin
awesome.
strap kind of beard.
I nominate Brian as tribute. You can be old Aang.
Yeah,
You
Brian
got-
could be Aang.
I could be.
Yeah,
on
like,
that.
get-
Yeah,
the pencil
old Aang
beard.
does have a beard.
I think my second option was to be the cabbages guy. Like, you know, like
I take it back. You should be the captain's guy.
just get like a sack of cabbages
Yes.
and then just keep like dropping it throughout the night. Be like, but not my cabbages. Or like they keep on bumping into
That
me.
would be great.
That's
You should pivot,
amazing.
Devin, and do that, please, because that would only work in a large group like
Oh.
that, right?
Yeah,
Like out
true.
of
That's
context, that doesn't
amazing.
work. But that's such a funny idea.
Yeah,
Oh, I think out of context that works still.
Yeah.
Just
If anyone gets it, they're a
cabbages you
real
keep
one.
dropping.
Yeah.
So
I just I
Yeah.
just piss off all the bar bouncers. Just like this guy's just dropping cabbages all over the bar. Like,
get him out of here.
like fuck this guy. Yeah,
Especially
get
when
out
Devin
of here.
gets drunk. If Devin's
like you-
drinking,
Right.
that's only gonna make it worse.
You come up to the door and you're like, "Hey, this is my prop for my costume." It's like, "Why do you have a bag of cabbages?" It's like, "It's my costume." Like
I swear it's not a weapon. It's part of my costume.
do that, Devin.
one leaf at a time on the floor. They're like, "Where are these cabbage leaves coming
Oh,
from?"
that's
I'm
so
like,
funny.
yeah.
That's great.
All right, you know what? Maybe
That's great.
I'll have to be cabbage guy instead
I
of.
can't wait to see
Avatar.
that.
Keep us updated. We're interested.
Yeah, that's amazing.
All right, I'll
Brian,
do that.
you go.
Okay, first thing that comes to mind. It's Halloween tomorrow. What are you gonna be?
Listen, we might have to break out the Tina Belcher again, bring it back old school, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I
That
don't
was
think
a
I have
good
that
one.
skirt anymore.
That one.
Black redneck again, Brian. That was
The
an
black
all-time
redneck.
costume. Black
Oh
redneck.
God.
Yeah, when you did the cut-off sleeves with the flannel and you had like the
the
country
the
hat.
bluest pants that turned purple. They were so blue.
I
That
put
shit
that on
was
my
so
dating profile
funny.
for a little bit because when was that? That was when we were still in college, and I
Yeah.
got a lot of not okay matches because of that. Because people thought that's how I actually dressed in my life, and that wasn't
Oh no.
that wasn't okay. I didn't love that for
Oh
me.
no.
You got the girl that's like
That's
shooting an
hilarious.
AR-15 in her pictures and like holding
Yeah, I
fish.
got
Oh
some-
God.
I got some maybe some anti-vaxxers
Yeah.
now that were kind of
Yeah.
rolling around. Yeah, it was a little rough.
you dressing up? You got plans to dress
I brought some costumes with their old ones. Obviously Superman is always a go-to because I have it.
Word.
And then Jon Snow. But I feel like Jon Snow's so
Surprise.
far out of touch now that I'm
Hmm.
like, do I want to do
No one
more?
likes Game of Thrones
Other than
anymore.
that, I'm like, I don't know. I always struggle with because there's only such a limited amount of people I feel like can go because I have hair. So I have no idea.
Mm,
Same.
So I'm
'cause I
like
have no hair.
Superman, Jon Snow, or Aquaman. Those are like my
Aquaman's
my
not bad.
go-to.
I like
Ooh.
Aquaman.
I thought about maybe
I
doing
like
Aquaman,
Aquaman.
and I could, if I don't have a pitchfork, I could just carry around a regular fork. Um,
It's a dinner fork.
Instead. Yeah.
That would be
and-
good.
or like a grilling
Ugh.
fork that's a little bigger, but I think I like the regular dinner fork better.
No, go for
Plastic
like
fork,
just a
yeah.
plastic fork.
I want to be the poor man's
Yeah.
plastic fork Aquaman.
That would be fucking hilarious.
And carry
Yeah.
around like a fish
Yeah.
bowl or something. Actually, that sounds
like that a
dangerous.
lot.
Don't
So
do that.
maybe that. We'll see.
Listeners, let us know what you did for Halloween.
Yeah. That's
Mhm.
it. That's free for all, everyone. We did it. We survived.
Yay.
We survived the spookiest week of the year, except for tax time. Got
The
him.
scary.
So, with that being said, listeners, you can email us at thefortressof@gmail.com. Fortress spelled FOUR. Feel free to email us any questions or feedback or any recommendations you have for us, or just anything you want to let us know about the show. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the Fortress of, also spelled FOUR, and the Fortress of YouTube channel, which is putting a bunch of other shit up there as well. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, tell your cat. Rate us and review us anywhere you listen to. Just talk about us to everyone and anyone, even if they don't care. Trick your friends into listening as well. Tell them it's about a podcast that you know they would listen to, and then just let it go. It's fine.
Trick or treat. Haha, just kidding. Trick. Got him.
But then it will be a treat because they'll love it.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Trick and
Look
treat.
at that. Look at that wordplay.
Mhm. I like that.
Yeah, that's right, guys. If you
Alright,
want to
so-
follow me and see more wordplay and cool photos sometimes on Instagram, you can hit me up at Alex is an Alien.
And you can also follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/it's by the way. That is ITZ by the way. You can also follow me on Instagram for pictures and stupid memes. That is ITZ_ by the way. And I'm streaming Spooky Games on Twitch this month.
Hell yeah.
You can follow me on twitch.tv/bythewayx to watch me get scared shitless because I hate scary games, but I'm playing them.
Oh, but it's the best streaming content though.
Oh god, I played a game. Was it last week? And it was a lot. I got real scared.
That's funny. Should I even say mine or just gonna like fade it out? Like, cause guys,
why are you in the dark?
Moving on.
Why is it pitch black in here?
Why do you look like the Unabomber right now?
He looks like an anime character.
Right, where you
glasses.
can see the reflection in their glasses.
It's pretty dark here, and I didn't turn the light on before the sun went down.
Anyway, thanks everybody for listening to the podcast.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Yep. Happy holidays, everyone. Whatever holiday you celebrate, whatever time of the year it is.
Don't forget your 1099s.
Put a code on. It's cold out there.
Definitely cold.
Say, don't forget your 1099s.
What?
That's important, bro. You can only extend your taxes so long.
Unless
that's very
zombie
true.
apocalypse, then you don't have to worry about taxes anymore.
You don't have to do it. We love capitalism here on the Fourtress of.
We're about to end, but we can't end until Brian says his catchphrase.
Oh, it's also warm out here. I don't even know what to say.
I like the 1099.
God.
I like the 1099 one.
Can we keep? Is that Brian's new catchphrase?
We gotta do 1099. It just depends on the day.
Yeah,
every
just
day's
mix it
gotta
up.
be.
Yeah, I like that.
Just do something that is a very specific time of the year every single day.
Don't forget your 1099s.
All right, we'll see you next week in another episode of the Fourtress of.
I would have changed my scary game answer or my scary moment answer is whenever someone is in the dark with just glasses on. The fuck?
Boo!